the timing of its decision to fire National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, which was 18 days after a warning from then Acting Attorney General Sally Yates.
We did what we should do. Just because someone comes in and gives you a heads up about something and says, I want to share some information, it doesn't mean that you immediately jump the gun and go take an action.
White House spokesman Sean Spicer says they first reviewed the evidence when they got it a week after the meetings with Yates. But in the interim, Flynn continued to attend security meetings. Yates telling Congress yesterday she was concerned Flynn could be blackmailed by the Russians. Russian election meddling coming up again during a briefing to Congress on cyber threats. Fox's Melanie Wilkes live in Washington.
Lisa, the head of U.S. Cyber Command says that the U.S. became aware of Russian activity before the French election on Sunday and gave French authorities a heads up. He says that they were watching the Russians, seeing them penetrate the infrastructure, and offered to assist. Mike Rogers told senators there has been no reduction in cyber threats from the Russians or the Chinese. The top cyber threats that worry him, destruction of critical infrastructure, large-scale manipulation of data, and cyber attacks from non-state actors. Lisa?
Thanks, Melanie. No criminal charges against the engineer of an Amtrak train that hit 106 miles per hour before the deadly crash in a 50-mile-per-hour zone in Philadelphia.
The Philadelphia District Attorney's Office says while evidence indicated the crash was caused by engineer Brandon Bostian operating the train beyond the speed limit, it did not find evidence he acted with criminal intent. The National Transportation Safety Board's report last year said Bostian was likely distracted by radio traffic when the crash happened.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers, a federal judge, approved a record settlement in that crash last fall. The Dow finishes lower, but a record close for the NASDAQ. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
ADT presents What to Consider When Considering Home Security. An ADT sign is more than a sign. It's a line in the sand. On one side, your family. On the other, an uncertain world.
For over 140 years, more people have chosen ADT to help prevent crime than anyone else. Get ADT starting at just $28.99 a month.
Tested, trusted, proven ADT.
With 36-month contract for licensing and terms and conditions, visit ADT.com.
When smart businesses need to grow their team, they do it on the site proven to deliver, Indeed.com. According to an independent study, Indeed delivers 5 times more hires than any other job site, more hires than the rest combined. And right now we're giving new users a $50 credit to post a sponsored job, boosting your listing and relevant search results. Claim your $50 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Workers evacuated, but no injuries after a partial tunnel collapse at the Hanford nuclear site in Washington state. Rail cars full of radioactive waste are buried in that tunnel, but officials say there's been no radiation release. For now, monitoring continues. An environmental activist from the U.S. is killed in Mexico, where officials say it happened in an area known for rampant gang violence.
The U.S. Embassy in Mexico City confirms the death of Gordon Strom, originally from Portland, Oregon, but who had been living in the Mexican city of Teocelo along the Gulf Coast. It's known as a hotbed for drug gang killings, and Mexican officials believe the 58-year-old Strom's death was gang-related, as he was found in his home with his hands and feet tied. The local newspaper in Teocelo said he'd been beaten. Strom had been working to improve water conditions in the city where he was living. In Miami, Eben Brown, Fox News.
Swiss banking giant Credit Suisse will add 1,200 jobs at its technology hub in North Carolina, even as it cuts jobs and reorganizes elsewhere. A state Senate panel approving up to $40 million in tax breaks, aiming to lure those banking jobs away from the New York City area. But one top Credit Suisse executive says the North Carolina expansion had been reconsidered until state lawmakers partially repealed a law limiting transgender rights. Some big news for Oreos fans.
First, the unveiling of the newest Oreo flavor, the Firework Oreo, a chocolate sandwich containing cream filling sprinkled with red and blue popping candy, which has been described as similar to Pop Rocks. Then word of the next new flavor, which will come from a fan of the Oreo. Nabisco's parent company inviting cookie lovers to come up with that. It'll also be the golden ticket to $500,000 for the winner.
Fox's Lillian Wu. Suggestions already popping up on social media, including cookie dough and funnel cake explosion. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News Radio.
Here's Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you comfortable all year long. Call 866-EXPERTS or you can visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Tonight, possibility of rain, a low of 54 degrees. Wednesday, chance of thunderstorms, high 78, low of 62. Thursday, chance of thunderstorms, high 73, low of 49. Getting the rain out of the way during midweek because this weekend it should be phenomenal, sunny and clear.
Nice.
Right now, mostly cloudy, 80 degrees in Champaign-Urbana.
It is the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lonte, Jeremy Warner, and look out for the Chicago Cubs. Things are not going well right now for the Cubbies, and the early inning situation is crazy right now for this pitching staff, but we've got a lot to talk about today as we roll you through a Tuesday. We are off early again tonight. The Red Hot Cardinals.
First place Cardinals.
Back in action, yeah, first place Cardinals. I had another buddy try to get me involved with a bunch of Cubs and Cardinals fans. He sent out a group text. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not getting into this thing because the Cubbies are still good, and no way on May 9th am I going to brag about being in first place.
No, not yet.
Nope, I'm not going to do it.
Feels pretty good, though, doesn't it?
It does.
After
it really
a 3-9
does.
start.
You know, and that little Sierra dude, and I say little, he is a skinny little dude. He is quick, and he's getting on base, and he's doing right now what the Cardinals need, which is awesome. So injecting a little bit of spirit into that lineup, and then Carlos Martinez looking really good.
Yeah, he looked sharp again. He's really good. I wouldn't worry too much about him, but the Cubs could use that kind of pitcher right now because their guys are struggling. Jake Arrieta gets shelled. It is at Coors. But Arrieta not quite the pitcher he was the previous 2 years. So, again, we talked about that all yesterday.
Right.
We got other things to get to today. But
sure.
that continues to be a concern for the Cubs is that rotation. We had big news last night,
yes,
and we'll talk about it a lot this first hour. And we'll chat with Brad Sturdy, orangeandbluenews.com at 3:30 about it. And that's DJ Williams transferring out of Illinois. We kind of expected this when he took his leave of absence for a game. It was a smart thing to do to come back, even if DJ knew he was transferring, because he would have had to be a mid-year transfer, which means he has to sit out a year, and then he gets a half a year plus 1 year.
Yeah,
By sticking it out through the semester, he'll sit out a year still, but he'll have 2 full years
That's good.
of eligibility to play. Not a big surprise when we heard this last night, and we'd been hearing rumblings the last week or so.
The only small surprise for me would be, and maybe this is something obviously the Brad Underwood and DJ Williams talked about, would be how he would fit in his offense. Obviously, John Gross did not feel the need or did not think DJ Williams was ready or was really good enough to be a part of his offense. And I thought maybe with Brad Underwood coming here, maybe a guy like that's a little bit athletic, but kind of out of, I don't even know what position really, even though we don't really call them positions.
I don't know if you're saying this and you mean it by offense.
I am.
Because I think that's the issue with DJ.
Yes, that's what I mean is offensively.
He was thinking way too much about offense.
Oh, right.
And how was he going to get on the court?
Playing D
and getting rebounds and providing energy.
They need somebody to do that.
You know who did that? Kipper Nichols.
Yeah.
Kipper Nichols played his role, played it well, and then when there was an open shot, he took it.
Exactly.
And I'll even give Aaron Jordan this.
Mm-hmm.
There is an obvious ceiling to what Aaron Jordan is capable of.
Without a doubt.
But that kid shows up every day, works his butt off, and plays his role. He played defense.
Sure.
And he took an open shot when he had. Never really looked all that good.
No, it didn't.
Quite yet.
It didn't.
I always called, and Derek and I joked about this, I always called DJ Williams Flash.
Right.
Because he would have that flash that intrigued every fan out there.
Sure.
And it's like, why isn't this guy playing more? Because it was, one, really inconsistent.
Yep.
And two, he didn't bring it every day in practice.
Mm-mm.
And that's not just from John Gross. We're hearing that from. So if we don't get to see those things,
sure.
And at some point you got to play players who produce. But it seems like Aaron Jordan is a good culture guy who brought it every day that can help that program. With DJ Williams, that at least was a question.
Yes.
So if you're Brad Underwood and you're trying to set that culture, do you want that kind of guy in your program? And I'm not trying to just bash DJ here, but there were questions about that with him.
Absolutely, and I'm sure Brad Underwood asked the same questions and didn't get the right answers, and didn't feel like this guy would be a part of that. It's interesting to me how this Simeon thing, which has been so great through the years for Illinois, has all of a sudden now ended with two guys. Well, you could even say three because Jalen Tate really didn't play a lot his last year, but you've got three guys. You had Kendrick Nunn, who had to leave the team. You had Jalen Tate, who really saw his role diminish for good purposes. Yeah. And then, of course, now you've got a guy like DJ Williams that leaves. So you had this strong Simeon connection. And not that it would go away, it
didn't work out.
It just hasn't worked out the last three, and it's interesting.
This crop of Simeon guys has not worked out, and I think Robert Smith's a phenomenal coach.
Sure he is.
And he gets the most out of his players, and that's what was intriguing to me. And we talked about it a lot with Joe Hendrickson, even Michael O'Brien from the Chicago Sun-Times. Michael said, I don't get why there's hype about this kid coming out of high school because he didn't perform all that well. I mean, he was a good player, but Ed Morrow was by far the best player on that team, and DJ never really asserted himself until they went to Abu Dhabi or Dubai or something like that. He had a phenomenal performance. People were like, okay, he's got that ceiling.
Yep.
And even Joe said, I like him more as a college player than a high school player because Simeon's system it's more defensive, all of that.
Sure.
But, he always said he's going to be a role player. I don't think DJ Williams ever saw himself as a role player.
Nope.
And that's why he forced shots sometimes when he gave him someone in. But just I wanted him to buy into defense because if he did that, I think he could have been a phenomenal defender. I think he could have been really good on the glass. But you saw Kipper come in and do those things right away.
That's exactly right.
And everyone raves about him as a culture guy. Like, he brings it every day, he ups the competition in practice. I think that's what Underwood wants in his program. But you do get a lot more thin.
You do.
And you have 4 open scholarships now on this team.
Which there are now some offers out. I know they've got a gentleman coming from Georgetown that we'll talk about here in a minute. Real quick about DJ. It's interesting. I'm trying to put myself into a position like that. And I'm even thinking back to high school, like my sophomore year when I was trying to get on the court. I'm sure in your mind it's tough to get over the thought of, the one way I could really show coach and these crowd and these fans is if I get in and score some points. Yep. And that's probably a hard thing. It's probably not just a DJ Williams problem. This is probably something you see it a lot. And in reality, it's in practice playing defense. It's showing what you can do there. It's hustling and then getting in games and doing the small things, grabbing a rebound here. Aaron Jordan every once in a while would have a steal. Things like that
Malcolm
really
Hill
show
his
up.
Freshman year.
Absolutely.
He turns into a top 3 scorer of all time at Illinois. He barely scored as a freshman because his role was getting rebounds.
That's exactly right.
And that's how he got on the court.
And that's where you have to figure out your role. And unfortunately for DJ, he didn't. So he'll move on. And again, not surprising. I think this was probably something that a lot of Illini fans assumed would happen. And of course, the news came down last night. So again, as you said, 4 scholarships now for Brad Underwood to use. So what are we going to do?
Well, how would you, if you could pick it out perfectly, Lon, like an ideal situation, how would you break this up with transfers and high school prospects?
I think with me at this point, I think I would probably, if I could, now this is me and this could be totally wrong, but this first year, I think I would take 3 transfers, 3 senior year transfers and grads. 1 high school guy. Yeah, 1 grad is what I mean.
I would go 2 grad transfers, 1 big, maybe 2. But I'd probably go 1 big and 1 wing guy.
Okay.
And then I'd want, if you have the right guys, I'd love to get a post player that has some athleticism, kind of like Badochi would have been.
Right.
Obadiah Toppin has an offer.
Okay.
But there hasn't been a lot of action there. So Manaya's kid, Justin Manaya, would be an interesting kid to add. And then if you can get this Ignis kid, who could reclassify to 2017.
Iggy.
Yeah, from Canada. I think he's a future pro.
Okay.
I mean, he looks really good. He's a wing player, 6'7", 220. Good shooter, lefty. If you can get him, he's the number 1 target at this point for me. Jeremiah Tillman, we'll see what's happening there. And there's some interesting rumors there, by the way.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But that would be my ideal, and I wouldn't mind banking 1.
Okay, that's fine.
I wouldn't mind banking 1, but that's kind of what the grad transfers are.
Yep.
And I wanted to get to that because all of a sudden, 2018 becomes a much more important class.
Absolutely.
Because you could now have, we were thinking maybe 1 scholarship open. now you might have 3 scholarships open, which I kind of like. It kind of balances things out.
Sure.
Where you could go get your 5-star point guard. You can go get a good wing player, whether it's Tim Finke or Taylor Horton-Tucker.
Right.
And you can go get a big that you can develop, which is they really need to add some depth in the post.
Here's my question to you. And when you say you would bank one, are you doing that because you would maybe take a guy that could transfer in January?
No, I mean, if there's a grad transfer you can take,
okay,
sure.
And that's kind of what I was
thinking. Maybe you go to 3 grad
Right.
transfers, but I still, if they think there's some good enough high school players and there's some intriguing prospects, I wouldn't mind taking 2 still.
I would love to see the Iggy guy. I would love to see Jeremiah Tillman still. I would still love to see that come to fruition at Illinois. And then I'd love to see the kid out of Illinois State that came over, and then you would have, of course, that grad, and then one more grad transfer in the ultimate thing. Now, is Iggy, he would be more of a guy that would be here a while, right? He's not just
he's a 4-year guy.
Oh, exactly. So
I don't know about 4 years, but I just
right.
mean, yes, he's not going to be a one and done.
He's not a transfer kind of guy like that. So, in other words, if you could get 2 of those, that 5th-year guy that is not going to hurt you scholarship-wise in 18, and then fill up with a guy like Jeremiah Tillman, who I'd be absolutely fine using a scholarship on, obviously, and then maybe the Iggy guy, that would be the perfect setting for me. I don't think Brad Underwood's going to panic, though, if he doesn't fill all 4. I don't think he's going to panic about that. I don't know because you just go get a body to get a body.
Unless it's a grad.
Sure. Right.
Unless it's a grad.
Because it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, because it doesn't hurt you. I mean, there's not a long-term investment there. But Derek Piper reported today that Akoy Agau will visit on Thursday.
He's a Nana Egwu-looking dude.
6'8", 235. Averaged 4 points, 4 rebounds per game last season for Georgetown. He was a consensus top 100 recruit when he signed with Louisville, but he transferred to Georgetown in December 2014, so really early. Then he missed the next season with a foot injury, so he will be immediately eligible for no matter what for 1 year.
Okay.
But he could have 2 years of eligibility remaining if he receives a medical hardship waiver. And honestly, if that happens, that sounds pretty good.
Okay.
Because even though you're thinking, 2 years.
Right.
They need somebody the next 2 years because even if you add, a big guy in 2018, he's not going to be ready for that season, most likely.
That's right. And he's the kind of body, that position that you need, and you could use him for a couple of years. This is a kid that came in ballyhooed. I mean, Louisville, right?
Recruit.
Louisville wanted him, and
they got him.
He went to him. I'm sorry. He went to Louisville and then ended up at Georgetown. So this would be another guy that would kind of fit. And I know at this point, Jeremy, we all look at it like this. I want to get excited about anybody, even though he averaged 4 points and 3 rebounds. I want to get excited about him.
He's 6'8".
That excites me.
Longer, athletic, defense.
Can you play D? That's exactly what I want to know.
You don't need an offensive 4. You need your Sam McLaurin.
Yep.
And this guy could be your Sam McLaurin, maybe with a little bit more upside.
Perfect.
Given his pedigree of a top 100 recruit.
Sure.
A little bit more athletic maybe than that. But this is a guy who could fit a role. And if I'm Illinois, you're recruiting him against SMU, Maryland, Northwestern. I mean, he's got some good options.
Okay.
But you're getting him here on a visit. You can sell him 20 minutes of playing time a night.
I can't imagine Illinois. I can't imagine a team out there that has a better. And I've not studied every other college team, but I cannot imagine a team that has a better offer or pitch, if you will, than Illinois does for a guy like that.
Yes.
To just say, listen, we have this. We have basically 2 guys underneath, LaRon Black and Michael Finke. And yes, Kipper Nichols can play that way.
And neither of them are underneath the guys.
No. So if you want to come in and just play forever.
I mean, there could be 25 minutes certain games there.
No doubt.
At that 5 position.
I mean, that's somebody that could come in and if he did come in and maybe he's not happy with what he's done so far in his college career, certainly he would get the chance here at Illinois. And the other thing, Jeremy, that I always forget about, you're going to be playing with some terrific guards at the University of Illinois. And I know, for instance, this gentleman from Georgetown, this kid from Georgetown, is more defense, right? So think Nana, if you will. So offensively, maybe he's not going to sparkle, but still.
All right.
Don't compare him to Nana. That's my bad.
That's high praise.
You're right. I shouldn't have done that. I should not put him in the Nana class.
I'm just saying, it's really funny that in 2018, Illinois is looking for a Nana Egwu. Like every player they have offered is Nana Egwu. And Illinois fans, it's like, that's right.
What we need.
He was good. He just didn't have what now Illinois has,
right,
which is a bunch of guards who can score.
That's exactly right. He did not have Mark Smith and Trent Frazier and Tijon Lucas and JCL and DeMonte. So we'll see what happens. But certainly, again, it's one of those situations where you would have a pitch to go along for certain for that.
So, I mean, you're hosting 2 grad transfers this week. Mark Allstork is the transfer out of Wright State.
Okay.
Who's
That's the
averaged
guard,
19
right?
points a game. Yeah, will probably play
6'5".
wing.
Yep.
6'5" guy, could fill an immediate role as a scorer, and you can sell him on that offense. So it's a big week, and this is where we start to learn more about these grad transfers. There could be more that come up as well, but they're going to go hard after some of these guys. I think they would love 2 grad transfers, and then they still have 2 scholarships available.
Interesting. All right, if you want to weigh in, 359-2255. We'll take you through the entire how to get a hold of us, but right now on the Jupiter's The Crossing phone line, we're going to go to James in Chicago. He's wanting to chat recruiting in Chicago. How you doing, James?
How you doing, guys?
We're good, buddy.
Listen, the whole route to recruiting, the whole fantasy of the Chicago public school guy, I mean, they made it. That might have been good back in the day, but nowadays, you don't really need that. I mean, who was the last Chicago public school superstar that came to Illinois that actually did something? I mean, when you built a team, when you made your run in 2005, I mean, you had D. Brown. He was from Proviso. That's not Chicago public school.
Luther was the guy.
Luther was the guy. I mean, you could throw Kendrick maybe in there, but obviously it didn't work out.
Good call.
I mean, you had Luther, but I mean, I don't know if Luther would be considered like a Derrick Rose type of caliber Chicago public school player, coming out when he came out.
Certainly not.
What I'm saying is, get the players that work for your system. There's players all around Illinois, Southern Illinois, and outside of the state. But just talking about the Chicago public school superstar, maybe it's just a once-in-a-lifetime guy like a Derrick Rose, go for that guy. But I don't see those guys coming out I don't see a Derrick Rose coming out in the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it's a little shallow there. Yeah, good call. Hey, James, thanks for the call, buddy. We appreciate you listening.
Basically what he's saying, because you have to recruit the Kendrick Nuns. Yeah, you have to recruit Io DeSunmu and Taylor Horton Tucker.
Absolutely.
What you don't need to take is Stan Simpson.
Right.
Just to get in the good graces of Chicago. What you don't need to take is Jalen Tate.
Yeah.
You don't need to take those guys just because you want a Chicago publicly guy and to appease those people.
Well said.
You don't need to do that. You recruit guys who fit your scheme, and they need to understand that, hey, we're going to recruit you guys. We're not just going to take you to do a favor. Favors
That's
here.
correct.
Like, that shouldn't be the way you do things.
Although Jalen Tate was his only point guard for like 3 years.
That's right. That's a problem.
That is
I would
the
rather
problem.
have Malcolm Hill.
And that's why he's at Akron right now, and we're still talking about Illinois basketball.
Ouch.
Well, I don't mean that bad, but I mean that is a big reason why John Gross is no longer Illinois basketball coach.
Hey, DePaul is making a splash. Yeah. They landed Tiger Campbell, and he's going to reclassify to 2018. Kid with huge hair. Out of
I remember him when he was a
Prep.
freshman, right? I remember you telling me about him in his freshman year.
How did DePaul land him? Shane Hireman is their assistant, who some people were mentioned for Illinois.
Yes.
They're also in on Brian Bowen, the 5-star small forward.
So DePaul could be getting
and
good.
Frank Cusimano from down in St. Louis
KSDK,
reported that they are a player for Jeremiah Tillman.
Interesting. Okay.
DePaul doing the...
Hey,
sleuthing here?
Hey, listen, if it works for a year or two to get you back to
that's right.
I mean, if you're
that was
and you're
DePaul.
DePaul.
Move by DePaul.
Yes.
I loved that hire for them.
I mean, the best person to ever do that was Bill Self that brought in who was not Trajan Langdon, but he brought in the one guard from Alaska. He brought his dad in to coach, and then that led to a national title to beat Derrick Rose in Memphis. But,
Chalmers.
Chalmers. But when you're SLU or DePaul and you've got a chance to do that, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
It might raise some eyebrows.
Sure.
But if you can handle that.
And if you're DePaul, nobody even knows you have a team anymore.
And all of a sudden, people are talking about you. So good for you.
Like, yes, we're going to do this.
I know some people wanted Illinois to hire Hireman, and I kind of got it.
Sure.
I don't think they needed to.
Okay.
Could you have landed some of these players? Maybe.
Sure.
But Hireman will probably be quick to go somewhere else. And then once the kids he recruited to LaLu are gone, then he's got to recruit other people.
Right.
And is he going to be able to do that? So I think that's what Brad Underwood was thinking when he hired Shane Coleman.
I think I'm fine with Brad Underwood's staff.
I am too.
And you know what? That could prove me wrong. I could be wrong. I could be sitting there in 4 years complaining about that. But for right now, I think I like what we've got on that staff at Illinois.
If you want to weigh in, you can. 359-2255. That's 217-359-2255. Coming up next, we'll talk with Brad Sturdy, orangeandbluenews.com. And before we get out of here at 4:45, Jim Benson from the Bloomington Pantograph will join us. Valpo is joining the Missouri Valley.
Nice.
Could they add anybody else? And we'll also talk to him about ISU as they lost Mikhail McIntosh, who is a grad transfer. There's kind of confusion of whether he signed with an agent or not. So
really?
Wouldn't be able to go there.
Oh, no.
Go anywhere. So we'll talk about that. And landing Taylor Beninga, which was a nice signing for them out of Illini Bluffs.
Always love talking to Jim Benson. Always love talking Mo Valley. You know that. Jeremy makes me smile when we do that. All right, 359-2255. Appreciate James with a call from Chicago. You can weigh in as well. It is the Tay and J Show.
An ESPN Radio Mike and Mike Extra Point.
My old friend Steve Rosenblum in the Chicago Sun-Times wrote a column about it, and he gave me credit. We were sitting in a bar after a playoff game in one of the Bulls' runs. I said to him, I feel like we are watching the greatest player ever right now playing at his absolute best.
Yeah.
And that's what we were seeing. I'm not going to say that about this, but I feel like if you wanted to make that argument, you could. I think LeBron James right this minute, and you want to talk about the competition, I'm totally with you. He's playing against mediocre competition, but he's toying with it. Right now, he's playing as well as I've ever seen him.
He is, and he's 32. I mean, 14 years into this thing. Let's be honest, past his prime. But, you know, there's the personal pride. There's what you want to accomplish. There's him not against Indiana, not against Toronto, not against Boston or Washington. It's him against ghosts.
Hear more from Mike and Mike tomorrow morning on ESPN Radio. It's the Thrill of the Grill event, now at the Home Depot, where the Kingsford Lone Star Charcoal Grill is a special buy at just $99. You'll save $50. Its durable cast iron grates and extra large surface can handle up to 24 burgers at a time, making you the undisputed grillmeister on the block. Get a fresh take on spring with the Kingsford Lone Star Charcoal Grill. Just $99 only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through May 31st while supplies last. Selection varies by store.
Howdy, Mom folks. KFC's Colonel Sanders here. I know you don't want to do Mom stuff on Mother's Day, so have Dad pick up a delicious KFC $20 fill-up. The family gets 8 pieces of delicious, freshly prepared chicken, 2 large mashed potatoes and gravy, 1 large coleslaw, and 4 biscuits. It's your day, so tell your family they can figure it out themselves for once in their lives. And then I'll figure it out for them, so they've kind of learned nothing. Oh well, at least you won't have to cook. KFC, it's finger-licking good. For a limited time at participating KFCs, prices may vary. Tax extra.
Mark your calendars now for May 11th and 12th for the Farmers City 74 at the Farmers City Raceway. Gates open each day at noon. May 11th, enjoy pro lates and streets and lates with $3,000 to win. May 12th, it's lates with $20,000 to win and modifieds with $5,000 to win with almost 100 racers over 2 days. Thursday, general admission $25 for adults. Friday, general admission $35. Kids 12 and under get in for free. Don't miss the Farmers City 74 at the Farmers City Raceway, where we'll sell you the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
The sounds of spring and the smell of flowers in the air. They all add up to Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team. That lush green lawnscape is a result of a reputation earned through consistent performance. They become your favorite through quality service and professionalism. Spring Green will service and maintain your lawnscape with seeding, aeration, fertilizing, weed reduction, disease, and insect control. Now the ease and trouble-free convenience of Spring Green's professional lawn care's full program is yours at savings of 20% for new customers. It's backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Over 32 years of satisfied customers reflect their commitment to Champaign-Urbana and the Mattoon-Charleston area. Call Spring Green at 217-359-2111 or online at spring-green.com at 217-359-2111.
Game Day Spirit, the official fan store of the Fighting Illini, presents the new Illini shirt jerseys. Available in youth and adult sizes, these highly anticipated Illini shirt jerseys will be released as a limited edition product at the Illini-Iowa men's baseball game Friday, May 19th, or get yours in store. The Illini shirt jersey is an exact replica of the jersey the team will be wearing during the game. So come get yours May 19th with Game Day Spirit Fan Store. Go Illini! Tuesdays can't get any respect. Every week it's like, I can't believe it's only Tuesday. No one ever asks, how was your Tuesday? But now there is something exciting about Tuesday. The Tune-Up Tuesday sale at Chief Bauer Service Experts. Get an extra $10 off our lowest sale price on an AC Precision tune-up. That means you'll get a $120 tune-up for only $59 when you book online today at chiefbauer.com. The Tune-Up Tuesday sale at Chief Bauer Service Experts. Take that, Saturday.
Coach Mike Ditka is not just talking sports. What will he say next? Hear him here Monday and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8 with Brother Johnny and me, Stevie J, on ESPN Radio 93.5.
3:30, I'm Jeremy Warner with your Sports Center update. It's been speculated for a while, and yesterday Illinois made it official. DJ Williams transferring out of Illinois after 2 seasons. The former top 100 prospect out of Chicago Simeon did not play in 16 of his last 19 games last season. Illinois granted him a full release. So now Brad Underwood has 4 scholarships available for next season, and he'll host Georgetown transfer Okoye Gao for a visit on Thursday. That's according to Derek Piper of Illini Inquirer. The 6'8", 235-pound forward averaged 4 points, 4 rebounds per game last season. He was a consensus top 100 recruit when he signed with Louisville, transferred to Georgetown in December 2014, and missed the next season with a foot injury. He'll be immediately eligible and could have 2 years of eligibility if he receives a medical hardship waiver. SMU, Maryland, and Northwestern also have interest. Illinois football will host 4-star St. Louis linebacker Ayodele Adeoye for a visit this weekend. That's first reported by 24/7 Sports. Former Illini Hugh Thornton retiring from the NFL, a third-round pick of the Colts in 2013. Thornton started 32 games over his 4 healthy seasons. He missed last year in Atlanta with a foot injury. Missouri Valley Conference has added Valparaiso to be the league's 10th member after losing Wichita State to the American Athletic Conference. The MVC said it will spend the next 9 months considering expanding further. Baseball double dip for the Cubs has not started well.
No.
Jake Arrieta chased in the 4th inning. Cubs down 10-2 right now in Colorado. They put up a 6 spot in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Top of the 7th there, 10-2.
Game 2 features John Lackey against Kyle Freeland. First place Cardinals had Adam Wainwright against the Marlins and Dan Straley. And the White Sox have Mike Pelfrey taking on former White Sox Hector Santiago, who's now with the Twins.
Ooh, some mystery. Hey, tomorrow you're going to want to be listening. I mean, well, you want to listen every day, but tomorrow you get a chance to win Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and special guest Joe Walsh. You get a chance to win tickets to that show Wednesday at 7:30 at the State Farm Center, and you can do that right here on the Tay and J Show. Listen to Jeremy and I. We're going to open the text lines between 3 and 6, and we're going to wish you good luck from ESPN 93.5. In fact, I'm going to start this read all over. I'm going to start it all over. We are going to actually give these tickets away today. So I was teasing you about tomorrow. Just joking, you know. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, special guest Joe Walsh. We're off about 5:15 today. So sometime in the 4 o'clock hour, we will give you a chance to win those tickets to see Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and, of course, Joe Walsh. That show is tomorrow night at 7:30. Select seats still available at StateFarmCenter.com.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Some great shows at the State Farm Center, and we got tickets for you. Let's see where.
You know, if you and I accidentally forgot to do this giveaway, I guess you and I could head over there.
Tom Petty, this is his 40th anniversary.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Are we going to be doing this for 40 years?
I hope to look. I'm not ripping on Tom Petty. I just don't think he's one of the better looking artists out there.
It doesn't matter. You play these songs and make these songs he has on. It don't matter how you look.
What was the group that he played with not him, but didn't he play with another group for a little bit, or am I thinking of someone else?
That's not in my realm.
Like it doesn't matter. I'll ask Carp at the break because there's one song that I really like, and I think Petty's part of that. But yeah, it's cool when you hear the commercials for this, the ads coming up for this. You sit there thinking, man, he does have some really good songs.
We need to do worst looking rock star at some point.
See if Petty
some
wins
point
that.
in the show. You can text those into 217-359-2255.
That's a great idea. All right, we will give you that chance to win that as we go along. But right now, it's time to head to the Jupiters of the Crossing phone line. We've been talking about Illinois basketball and what they're going to do now with 4 scholarships on the table. And we welcome in from orangeandbluenews.com. It's Brad Sturdy. How are you, Brad?
Good. How are you guys?
Good, buddy.
Not very surprising news that DJ Williams is gone, Brad, but why did it not work out here at Illinois?
He didn't. DJ never had a great motor. He always had he's one of those, looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane guys. I mean, he's got all the tools. He's got all the athletic ability, but sometimes just couldn't put it all together for some reason. And sometimes with kids like that, it's a good idea to just, find a different fit. Find somewhere where you fit in better in the system or scheme or whatever. And from what I was told, he did a better job at, this spring in some of the workouts. But overall, they just didn't feel like he was maybe a long-term answer for them. And so it's better to be honest with him and tell him that up front and, then let him make a decision on what he wants to do. And he'll have lots of options. He'll have a lot of places where he can go play because he's like I say, he's 6'7", he's athletic, he's a kid who's got pretty good skills, too. He just probably needs to just get a little better motor.
Yeah, I just never saw him buy into being a role player, Brad, and I kind of saw that Aaron Jordan has figured that out. And that's what I'm thinking is what does this mean for the immediate future for Aaron Jordan with playing time and Kipper Nichols, obviously was going to be a big part anyway, but he'll probably play an even bigger role now.
Yeah, no doubt. I think Aaron Jordan, the one thing about Aaron always embraced just being a part of the team and doing whatever's asked of him, whether it's, defending, playing 2 minutes here. It was a game in Northwestern. I think he started and played 3 minutes and then never went back in the game. Was that right? I think that's right.
Right.
So, he just took his role. He just did whatever they asked him to do, and he does it with a great attitude. He plays hard in practice every day, and so that's why he's a great teammate. But, you may see an expanded role. Now, I do expect them to add to the roster, upcoming. So they'd like to, there's a couple kids they'd like to get, fifth years, and then they've got some kids they'd like to add, maybe, even some maybe reclass 2017-18 kids who are trying to maybe enroll this fall. So we'll kind of see what happens there. So, but they've got 4 scholarships to use, and I don't know that they'll use them all for guys. They want to make sure they have some for 2018. But at the same time, I think they want to upgrade for next season as well.
Brad, is it silly not to use all 4? And what I mean by that is if, let's say, you had a chance where you added a guy that was going to be here maybe for 4 years, but then you just couldn't find anybody else, and at the very least, you go out and add a grad transfer that's only going to be here 1 year and just eat up the scholarship for 1 year. Is it silly not to add those 4?
I think it depends. I think, if they can find a guy, it's the one thing about a grad transfer. Most of those guys have an agenda. Like they have something. There's a reason they're transferring. It might be to showcase or do this or do that, or maybe they want to be used in a different system. So those guys kind of have an idea of what they want to do. And not many guys go to their grad transfer to play just a few minutes. So they want to play a little bit. And then with the 4-year guys, I think they'll take 4-year guys. If the Minerva kid or Iggy from Canada, if those kids wanted to come in 2017. I think they would take them just because they're good, and they're guys that they would take in the 2018 class as well. But I don't think you're going to see them reach just to take a kid. Because then you've got 4 years of scholarship tied up with that one kid, and with the guys they're in 2018, you don't want to overextend yourself. You want to make sure you have available spots for them.
Follow Brad Sturdy on Twitter at Sturdy32.
I do.
What do you make of Mark Allstork, who's going to be visiting this weekend? How would he fit, and what do you think of his skill set?
Well, he can score. He can put the ball in the basket. He's a kid, and he's the one thing after you hear some quotes and talk to the kid. He's pretty confident. He feels pretty good about his own abilities and his ability to score. I think he fits because he's he'd be a veteran guy. He'd come in and play some minutes. He can, he does some good things on the glass, even though he's more of a guard, but he's still, he fits the way Underwood likes to play, because he likes to play small and get guys who get after it, and guards have to rebound. If you're not going to have 2 6'10" guys out there, then you got to have guards to rebound, and he would fit there. He's a guy he was a high volume guy. I think he's going to have to be a little more efficient. He won't get the number of shots, and hopefully if he gets a few less shots, doesn't have to force many shots, he can be a lot more efficient offensively. And I think that's where Illinois, they need some help. When you only have 9 guys right now on scholarship, you definitely need, and those would be 2 guys who are, he would be a guy who could come in and play right away, whether it be 25 minutes a game or 20 or whatever.
All right, Brad, I'm practicing it now. Akoy Egal. Okay, that's the kid from Georgetown. What do you think of this kid? He's going to come and visit, I guess, on Thursday. Big body, 6'8", about 235. Defense, huh? What do you know about him?
Yeah, it's interesting. I went back 2 years ago, and I went back and looked at 3 years ago, I guess it would be now. But, of course, I wish that his name would be Mark Smith again, because those are such much easier names to pronounce.
No doubt.
Yeah, but, there's a lot of tough ones here recently. Doubt. Amadou Sow, Morris Odesi.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
These big guys.
Side.
These big guys.
Yeah. No, so I like, he's a very intriguing piece, because they need some help up front. He can rebound the basketball. I wouldn't call him a great scorer. He's not a great athlete. He's a good athlete. He runs the floor well, but he's not like a high flyer. The one thing I like about him, you go back and look at the scouting videos from when he was in high school, he was known for being very good at passing out of double teams, being a good post passer, which in this system that Brad Underwood runs, having big guys that can pass, a guy like, that's why we always talk about Finke being a really good fit for this system. Having a big guy who can pass, he would be a great fit for that. He also has the ability to step out. He didn't show this a lot at Georgetown, but he has the ability to step out and make jump shots. Not maybe something you want him to do a lot of, but it's something he can do, so it makes him a little more versatile. And he's a guy who can defend, and I think that's what they need. They need guys who are long and can defend a little bit inside, because they're going to need that, on this team next year. And then it also opens up some possibilities. You get a lot better next year, and it gives you more opportunities for 2018 to add to your class.
Sam McLaurin, Brad, is he Sam McLaurin Part 2?
I think he's a little better than Sam. I mean, I think he's a little bit more. He's probably a little. He'll do more things maybe that show up on the stat sheet. Now, Sam was great as far as a guy who filled a role. I mean, exactly what you wanted from him. He did a lot of the intangibles. I think this kid will do a little bit more in the stat regard, whether it's rebounding or scoring or blocking shots than Sam did. But I think that the role would be similar.
Brad, the one thing I've noticed about this staff recruiting trail, especially with the big men in 2018, they're looking for Nana Egwu.
Yeah.
And boy, that is a president of the Nana Egwu Defenders Club. That makes me happy. It's amazing that now they need that kind of guy, because they actually have the other pieces around it.
Yeah, it makes a difference. When you have Nana is great. If you have 4 guys that can score the basketball around him, he can be a very, very, Nana would be a great fit for an offense and defense. And so the problem you run into is Illinois never had 4 guys to put around him that could really score the basketball. And so
maybe one.
You had problems, and so that's where they asked him to do things that probably he couldn't do. And so that put him. That's why we had to have the Nana Egwu Defenders Club.
Right.
But you and I sitting courtside. So
that's right. Well, the 2017 options that remain. I mean, this Ignas Brzdakis kid looks legit, and if he can reclassify, he obviously looks like would be like a big get for them. Who else? Who else is available in that 2017 class, Brad?
Well, there's the kid from the East Coast, I don't know. I mean, there's some different kids that the hard part is the Canadian kids and some of these prep school kids that can reclassify. So you look at these kids, you don't know they're 2018, but they're up in Canada. They can be 2017, 2018 kids. So they kind of have a choice which year they can graduate. And so kind of like Iggy there. And so that's a kid who can do some stuff. And then there's the Mania kid out from East Coast, who is, I watched him play last 2 weeks ago, I guess, and I don't know, they're all running together. I think it was 2 weeks ago in Indy, and he's really, smooth, wing, 6'5", 6'6", that they like, and he hasn't decided what he's going to do. He's a kid who they offered, and those are a couple of kid names that could be 2018 or 2017. that they're going to have to, they're obviously trying to get in on those kids. They're trying to, see what they want to do. And, the one thing I think, for my money, I think Iggy is just a phenomenal fit for the offense that they run with his skill set. And he's 6'7", and he's not like a high flying athlete, but he's just got great skills, and he's smart, and he rebounds. He's already, if you see him, he's already strong enough to come play in college. And so that's the kind of kid that would be a fit in 2017. You don't have to like bulk him up for a year. It wouldn't be like a red shirt type year. I mean, he's a kid who could come in and be a plug and play guy right away, and just add another scorer on the floor. And you see, I always watched him, and I think of the walk-up kid that played at Stephen F. Austin for Underwood, and he just, he wasn't the best athlete in the world, but he could do some things. When I saw he was playing in Indy, had this little guard come up and guard him, try and pressure him, and he went behind his back, went past the guard, went down the lane, kind of went up and under and scored. And it was like, wow, that's pretty good. And so it reminded me a lot of the walk-up kid from Stephen F. Austin. Just he goes by you and you're not sure how he did it.
Yeah, walk-up, a friend of the Tay and J Show, by the way. I'd be fine adding a guy like that. Brad Sturdy, maybe it's because for 6 years I've done now this radio show and we talk all about recruiting, but it never seemed like it was this difficult to A, recruit, or B, fill out a roster back in the day. What has happened?
Well, I think they're not, the one thing about these guys, you look at the guys they're after, there's no like reaches. There's no kids that you wonder, this kid's got to do this and this kid's got to do that before he can play. I mean, you're looking at guys who can all play. I mean, they're not just, and I think that's the difference. I think it's easy to kind of just grab a kid. I mean, and the other thing is in Illinois and this class of 2018, it's not very good. I was talking to one AAU coach and he said, I thought 2012 was a bad class, and he told me 2018 is worse. Wow. And so the class in Illinois, outside of the three guys, you got Io, you got Finke, and you got, Talon Horton Tucker. And really, those are the only high major kids in this 2018 class right now. And so that's, Illinois has had years when they've had 7, 8, 9, 10 high major kids. And this year's just one of those years when they don't have as much. So they're branching out and they're filling out some kids from out of state. I mean, look at 2017. You got kids like Mark Smith and Jeremiah Tillman and Jordan Goodwin. I mean, there's so many kids in this class that could play, and you can go back in history and see that over and over. And this class, 2018, just doesn't have the same numbers.
You said a name there, Jeremiah Tillman. I'm not sure who that is. No, Brad, I'm kidding. OrangeandBlueNews.com. Follow him on Twitter @Sturdy32. Brad Sturdy, you're the goods, my friend. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Appreciate it, buddy. Yeah. All right, Brad Sturdy. I was going to ask him about Tillman.
He did not mention Tillman among the 2017 kids.
Jeremiah Tillman.
This recruitment is going to go down as one of the best.
Is he just going to end up like...
not one of the best, I should say. One of the most intriguing I've ever seen.
He'll end up at San Diego State or something. You're just be like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
But speaking of San Diego State, next hour I'm going to have a Brian Carlwell reference.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we are going to rank the guys who have transferred out in terms of the expectations you had for them at Illinois.
Oh, so guys that were here and left. Yeah. And what I
don't want to call them like the biggest disappointments.
Right.
So I'm just going to say the guys you had most high expectations for.
That could be interesting. That'd be quite a list.
Yes.
So you've got a list.
I got a list.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
But no, you got to rank yours, too.
Okay, I will. Do I get this said list before?
It's sitting there on your sheet.
It's right in front of me. I was trying to play that off, act like I was really smart and just could rip these names off the top of my head, but I can't.
Kyle Wilson
I'll
reference.
Be honest with you. I do remember Kyle Wilson because he came in that glamour class, but I do not remember Charles Jackson.
C.J. Jackson?
Oh, C.J.
Yeah. Played football.
Okay, when you say C.J., that did it. Charles Jackson, at first I was like, I don't remember that dude.
If you want to weigh in, 359-2255. We had 8 texts, and I know we've gotten tweets as well. Tom Petty also in the Traveling Wilburys.
Yes. I had it queued up. Nice. Thank you, everybody, for that. We're going to leave you with that. It is the Tay and J Show. If you got someone to love, well, it's all right. Everything will work out fine, but it's all right. We're going to the end of the line.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your Trane comfort specialist. Right now is a great time to buy a new Trane heating and cooling system from Lands. For a limited time only, we're offering 0% interest for 6 years. That's no interest with equal payments and approved credit for 6 years on any qualifying Trane system. Or here's another way you can save on a new Trane heating and cooling system from Lands. Trade in your old system. For a limited time, you can get a $1,000 trade-in allowance on any qualifying Trane system. So pick your best deal. No interest for 6 years or a $1,000 trade-in allowance and start saving. Call 1-800-AIR-REPAIR or find us online at landsinc.com. Remember, it's hard to stop a train. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
See Lands for program details. Call 888-653-0051 for details about credit costs and terms. Regular APR is 28.99 for newly opened accounts. APR may vary, subject to credit approval.
Are you looking for a new home or planning to refinance your existing home? Hi, this is Todd Durakan from First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, getting you and your home faster with loan closings in 30 days. Mortgage loans and refinancing that's fast, friendly, and local. We invite you to visit our experienced team of mortgage experts to find out how First Federal Savings Bank can help you with your loan closing in 30 days. For more information, visit 356bank.com. First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana. Get what you want out of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You already know Houlihan's Restaurant and Bar at the iHotel is a great restaurant, but don't forget about the bar. Fantastic drink specials and mouth-watering menu items from snacks to full meals, a nice selection of draft, craft, and domestic beers, and just about any cocktail you can imagine. Watch a game with multiple flat screens on all sides of the bar, or grab some tables and make it a party. Drink specials daily, plus Houlihan's is now serving a delicious hot breakfast 7 days a week. Houlihan's at the iHotel. Check them out at the corner of 1st Street and St. Mary's Road, just south of the State Farm Center.
Life is full of twists and turns. You can't see the unknown, but you can certainly prepare for it. Pekin Life Insurance Company offers a variety of term and whole life insurance policies that are designed to meet the needs of individuals and their families. Options include transitional life, universal life, preferred whole life, family term life, and many others. Visit PekinInsurance.com or ask your local Pekin Insurance agent about an affordable, beyond the expected life insurance policy that's right for you.
Going on 5 years, Rock's Place in St. Joseph has become the neighborhood sports bar and grill for a lot of folks in the area. Rock's Place is known for their delicious burgers, and they also have great daily food and drink specials. Plus, Rock's has plenty of TVs, so you can keep tabs on the Cubs and Cardinals all summer long. And while you're there, press your luck on one of Melody Music's video gaming machines. For delicious food, cold drinks, and good company, make it Rock's Place, 101 North Main Street in St. Joseph. Find them on Facebook, ROCHS in St. Joseph.
Join the Prairie Lands Council for their 2017 Distinguished Citizens Dinner, this year honoring the Atkins family. Wednesday, May 17th at Stone Creek Golf Club. Don't miss this fun evening with heavy hors d'oeuvres and drinks, along with a wonderful program and awards presentation. Tickets for this event honoring 2017 Distinguished Citizens are on sale now. Support Scouting. $250 per person or $400 per couple. Buy tickets today by calling 531-0218. That's 531-0218.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call Matex Heating and Cooling to take advantage of Trane's Weather Any Season sale. Weather Any Season sale. Choose between special financing for 6 years or special trade-in allowances on qualifying Trane systems. Call 355-9700 or visit us online at mattexservice.com for more information. It's hard to stop a train. Any season, any weather. Matex Heating and Cooling, servicing East Central Illinois.
Subject to credit approval. Call for details.
There's nothing better than real Texas barbecue, and no better place to get it than Hickory River Smokehouse. Every cut of beef brisket, pork shoulder, turkey breast, pork loin, and chicken are carefully selected and rubbed with its signature spice blend, infused with hickory smoke for a juicy award-winning flavor, and served up right here in Central Illinois for over 20 years. So come on in for a taste as big as Texas. Dine in, take it home, or serve it up to the entire gang on North Cunningham in Urbana.
When you're heading home, Tay and J are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons 3 to 6 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Rock out with the realtor that rocks Saturday, May 20th in Effingham. That's right, Stephanie Pratt with Coldwell Banker, the real estate group. is hooking one lucky listener up with free tickets to see Vince Neil of Motley Crue.
Nice.
Plus, will be treated to a ride to and from the show with Bishop Platinum Limousine. Sign up for your chance to win and get show information now at ESPNCU.com. Grand prize winner will be selected Wednesday, May 17th. So get registered today.
Yeah, there we go. That is the Tay and J Show. Lonte, Jeremy Warner. Sneaky there. Motley Crue, sneaky. That would be high on my list of seeing that band live.
It's right up your alley.
Oh, it totally is.
I mean, of the 80s rock bands, is Motley Crue the hair metal?
Yeah. They're one of my favorites.
They in your top three?
I don't know, top three. You'd have Scorps. You'd have Leopard. Although I never considered Leopard really that hair metal.
They are.
But they are.
They are.
So you'd have Scorps and Leopard.
I do not include Guns N' Roses in there.
You don't?
No.
Okay, because that would definitely be in there. Probably next would be Poison.
Over Crue.
But Crue would be 4.
Where would Rat?
Rat. I like Rat, and I've had some fun with my Rat days, but ain't nothing normal about normal, baby.
Skid Row's
up there.
Dude, I love
Sebastian
Skid
Bach,
Row,
man. Nobody could hit a note like him. Wow, he could hit a note. And if you have never YouTubed Sebastian Bach throwing the bottle into the stands and jumping into the stands, you have to do that.
Bon
he actually
Jovi?
ruined a girl's face with that.
Bon Jovi?
Are you considering Jovi? See, that'd be tough.
I mean, when they got in, I
almost put Jovi and Leopard over on this side.
I can understand it because they weren't as glam.
Right. Not as
it's just
heavy, kind of.
John's so good looking that you consider him.
Right.
But yet they're more pop rock.
Yes.
Like, they were definitely going the pop route.
Which I thought Leopard did well.
Yes.
It did as well.
No, and they did it well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they did.
But that's kind of what I consider because, Twisted Sister.
No, I was never a Twisted Sister guy. I really honestly wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
I Want to Rock's a really good song.
Oh, my goodness. But
Cinderella.
Definitely. Yeah, they have... Wait.
White Snake is definitely hair metal.
Whitesnake, absolutely. I forgot all about Whitesnake. Are you kidding me, Mr. Bone?
So you would have Scorps one?
So if I'm pushing Leopard to the side with Jovi, if you'll allow me to do that. Otherwise, Leopard and Scorps are tied for first. That's my tie for one.
You can't even give a first place
I really
vote?
don't know. I'd probably go Scorps is probably what I'd do. But Great White. Oh, yeah. Mr. Bone, baby. We'll just play out with this.
All right.
You want to?
Yeah. Next hour, we'll rank our top 5 recent transfers.
I cannot wait for this.
From Illinois and how excited we were when we got here. We'll also give away those tickets to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
All right, we got an idea for you next hour. Stay tuned. It is Tay and J Show.
Mosquitoes can be a nuisance, and after a mild winter like we had, they're even worse. Let Prairie View Landscaping get rid of those pesky mosquitoes so you can enjoy the summer outdoors without bugs getting in the way. And since it's Prairie View Landscaping's 25th year in business, they're celebrating by offering up to 25% off their mosquito program. Email mypvdiscount@gmail.com for a free quote. mypvdiscount@gmail.com. And if you sign up by May 31st, you can win 2 free mosquito control applications out of 4. Prairie View Landscaping, mypvdiscount@gmail.com.
Need new tires? How would you like to save $200 on a set of 4 select Goodyear tires? Right now at CarX Tire and Auto, get up to $200 in savings when you purchase a set of 4 Goodyear tires and use the CarX Drive Card credit card. Your Champaign CarX man has the right tires for your vehicle at any of his 3 convenient locations. And now up to $200 off. Stop in, call, or schedule online at CarX.com.
Don't worry, call the CarX man.
See store for details.
Proverbs 31:10-12 states, "A wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life." Honor your wife and your mother, not only on Mother's Day, but every day. This message brought to you by the Blossom Basket Florist.
The Blossom Basket Florist. The florist you pick.
Next paint project. Why settle for a new coat of paint? Try a new coat of armor. Glidden Diamond Paint and Primer at the Home Depot, starting at only $23.98 a gallon. When put to the test, Glidden Diamond stood up to 2,500 scrubs. That's a lot of soccer balls, muddy pets, and fingerprints. And that's one tough coat. We're pouring more into paint with unbeatable prices on scrubbable Glidden Diamond Paint and Primer. from only $23.98 a gallon at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Are you getting the attention you deserve from your broker? When you partner with Provident, you get an advisor who stays focused on you and your family. We work for you. Contact us today to schedule a consultation. Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Find us online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Provident, partnerships built on trust.
Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Sure, we've been called a mom and pop store. We take it as a compliment. After all, we are family owned and operated with 2 generations actively involved, and 5 of our team members have been with us for around 20 years each or longer. We run our business with old-fashioned customer service as our foundation, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Add our great selection of hand-picked mattresses, all proudly made in the USA at guaranteed lowest prices, and we're sure you won't find a better deal anywhere. Visit us and experience the Illini mattress difference today.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Live from New York, The Fox Report.
I'm Lisa Brady. It's the Senate's turn to write a health care bill that can get enough votes to pass, and Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is taking heat for the makeup of a working group that's been meeting for months already. No women are on it.
You know, you need to write about what's actually happening, and we're having a discussion about the real issues.
McConnell says no one's being excluded because of gender and that the working group that counts is all 52 GOP senators. Senate Democrats, meantime, are picking apart the bill that passed the House.
A lot of people who have employer coverage think that they're home free. They are not home free. The House bill would lift the caps, the limits on their out-of-pocket expenses.
Oregon Senator Ron Wyden says people with cancer should be frightened if that happens, but Republicans say constituents are sending them letters about the crushing impacts of a failing system under Obamacare. A partial tunnel collapse at the Hanford nuclear site in Washington state, where radioactive waste is buried in rail cars underground. They evacuated workers as a precaution, but have found no release of radiation and no injuries. The collapse is under investigation. Prosecutors say they'll appeal a judge's decision to vacate the murder conviction of former NFL player Aaron Hernandez. He was serving life in prison and planning to appeal his conviction when he killed himself last month.
The fact that you, in this case, could commit suicide and have everything thrown out, I don't think is fair.
Bristol County DA Thomas Quinn says the current Massachusetts law goes too far for defendants' rights. Today's ruling could impact legal fights over the Hernandez estate and the amount. A mixed day on Wall Street. The Dow drops 36 points, slipping back under 21K. The S&P also lower, but the NASDAQ hits a new all-time high, 6120. On the Fox Report, fair and balanced.
Looks like some cable and phone companies are trying to sell home security. But when a burglar sees one of their signs in the front yard, what does it say? Oh, wow, this home has 599 channels. Or, oh, these guys have high-speed internet. But the ADT sign, it says, this family trusts the company whose name means security. So beat it. It's no wonder 5 times more people choose ADT to protect their homes.
Learn more at ADT.com and to see licensing and terms and conditions.
When you're hiring for a growing business, you don't need lots of candidates. You need the right candidates. You need Indeed.com. With an algorithm that positions your job post where quality candidates are and screener questions that help you zero in on the best talent. Indeed.com, the site proven through an independent study to deliver 5 times more hires than any other. New users claim your $50 credit for a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Do you know if your car has any recalled parts?
There are 63 million vehicles on the road in this country right now that have been recalled for a safety issue but have not been repaired. That's 1 in 4 on the road and the highest level in history. And while it's not against the law to fail to get your safety problem fixed, it's also not against the law for dealers to sell a used car that hasn't been fixed.
Fox Business Network's Jeff Flock, an FBN survey finding cars for sale with some potentially serious recall issues, including an unrepaired GM ignition switch and an airbag problem. One way for would-be buyers to protect themselves is to check the vehicle ID number on the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration website. A former reality TV star, best known for taking her dance students to task, will head to federal prison.
Kendall, was that a plie? Was that really a grand plie? Do it again. Start over.
Abby Lee Miller of Dance Moms sentenced to a year and a day in prison for hiding nearly $800,000 in income after filing for bankruptcy. She also admitted bringing more than $100,000 worth of Australian currency into the U.S. without reporting it. Miller pleaded guilty last year and announced in March she was leaving Dance Moms. The judge agreeing to recommend she be allowed to serve time as close as possible to her new base of business operations, a dance studio near L.A. Only a year after American Idol wrapped up its run on Fox with a 15th and final season, it's coming back on ABC, which recently hired the longtime Idol host for a different job.
While Ryan Seacrest settles in at his new gig on Live with Kelly and Ryan, hosts and judges for the Idol reboot being announced at a later date, along with where it will be filmed. The president of ABC Entertainment saying in a statement, American Idol is a pop culture staple that left the air too soon.
Fox's Jacqueline Carl. After 14 years in Los Angeles, the Grammy Awards are moving back to New York for the 60th annual event next year. Fox News Radio.
I kind of liked American Idol.
I liked it for a stretch.
Yeah, I didn't watch all of them, but I enjoyed a
couple
few
really
of them.
good seasons.
That one dude that had a voice like this that sang country.
Scotty McCreery.
Yeah, that's it. He was a lot lower than that.
That was not my favorite season. No.
There was one season where there was a guy that beatboxed. Do you remember that?
Mm-mm.
He was awesome. He finished in the top 3.
I think season 2 and season 4.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I'd have no idea.
Really, really
okay.
good.
I did watch it, though.
There's another one with Haley Reinhart.
I remember her.
From Wheaton. She was awesome.
Yes, I do remember.
Loved
I remember
her
Gene
voice.
talking about her a lot.
Anyway, here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you comfortable all year long. Get those ACs checked. You might need them soon. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 54. Wednesday, chance of thunderstorms, 79 your high, 62 your low. Thursday, thunderstorms, high 74, low 49. That clears the way for a beautiful weekend. Right now, sunny, 77 in Champaign-Urbana.
It is the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lonte, Jeremy Warner. Chicago Cubs, not a good day, losing 10-3 right now. They're in the top of the ninth at Coors Field. That's one of 2, right, you said today?
Yeah.
Cardinals, you'll hear right here on ESPN Radio 93.5, pregame and postgame. Had kind of a funny postgame last night on Fox Sports Midwest. You know Jim Cat Hayes, you know the guy that does, of course, on the TV side. Matt Carpenter, your guy, who had a huge... By the way, can you pull up his stats real quick?
He's on fire.
He is on absolute fire.
I told you yesterday, I go, Carpenter's on fire. You go, what? He is? And
I know.
3 home runs in 3 games.
I did not realize the stats he's put up, but Jim Hayes kind of went over it. But it was funny at the end of that game last night. Carpenter comes over to talk to Hayes, and he gives him this huge bear hug.
Yeah.
Or not bear hug, but it's like a half a hug. Like he keeps hugging him. And Jim Hayes is like, when is this awkwardness going to end? And he goes, not to the end. I'm just going to keep hugging you.
Nice.
And so he finally did. It was funny, though, but Jim Hayes started reading off some of the stats that Carp has.
Last 8 days, he is 9 for 23 with 3 doubles, a triple, and 4 home runs.
Wow. All right. I like it.
That's pretty dang good.
Carpenter's starting to get it.
10 walks in there.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, by the way, your OPB, nice. It's one of those deals, though. As Carp goes, a lot of times the Cardinals go.
Right now for the season, 266 average, solid. 423 on base.
Man.
.553 slugging. That's a .976 OPS. 7 home runs, 22 RBI.
Is that too good of an OPB to be a 3-hitter?
OBP?
Or OB. I always say it wrong. Is it too good to be a 3-hitter? I mean, in other words, it's not. I'll take that wherever. But in other words, do you want him up the lineup with that?
I want him getting as many at-bats as
I know, that's
get,
what I mean.
He's such a great hitter. I mean, if he's in the top 3, I'm good with it.
Okay, all right. I mean, it's one of those where you feel like, but
he seems comfortable right now.
Exactly. And he can drive the ball and he can hit the gaps, and that's what you need, and obviously hitting home runs right now.
It's amazing that he's become what he's become since we saw him as a skinny little,
unbelievable,
looking over, we saw him in 2011.
Yeah.
He was focused. And you could tell there was just a drive there.
No doubt.
But it was like, that kid, he's not going to have a chance, and look at him.
I mean, we talked to him here at the Caravan, the Cardinals Caravan, and then when we went to spring training, I'll never forget walking in that first day to that clubhouse or that locker room, and you and I are like, we don't know what to expect. Here we got the veterans, you got Matt Holliday, Albert Pujols, Yadi Molina, all to the left. And then you had the rookies on the right. And
their high numbers.
Yeah, right, with their 58s and 64s. But Matt Carpenter was sitting right there inside the door, and we walked in, and I think he legitimately recognized us and remembered us from the Caravan. And he's like, hey, guys, how you doing? I'm like, how you doing, Matt? Good to see you. And then, fast forward like 4 years, and I see him up top of that bar, and he won't even acknowledge me. I'm like, you know what, Carp? That's not right, man. He wasn't
on a bar. He was in the top level of a bar.
Yeah, I apologize. Okay. Yeah, I don't want people to think he was dancing on a bar. Yeah, because I was hitting on his wife for like an hour. And then he showed up. Maybe she mentioned that to him, and that's why he wouldn't talk to me.
I probably don't know.
I wasn't hitting on her, but I was visiting with her.
By the way, the Cardinals host the terrible San Francisco Giants this weekend. It's a weekend full of great giveaways, including an adult red mesh batting practice jersey, a pet bowl, an adult rhinestone cap.
A pet bowl?
Rhinestone cap, huh? Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
Does it get any better than a Braves, Marlins, Giants this year run of 9 games here? I mean, the Cardinals have a chance to make some hay. There's no doubt they are. That's one of those mysteries this year.
The Cubs down 10-4 in Colorado in the top of the 9th inning there, where Jake Arrieta just got shelled.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, it is Colorado, and that's a great lineup, and they're a first-place team right now.
Right.
I wanted to pick them for the playoffs. I couldn't do it just because of the pitching, but they're getting enough, and that offense is, obviously one of the best in baseball.
This is so funny, and I know we're going to start talking about these transfers at Illinois, which is awesome, but there is one thing about Colorado I'll never forget. We moved into our house in Sullivan back in the day. And I remember when we were moving into the house, Gene was working or something, and I was like organizing the closet, let's say, and I was listening to a game between the Cardinals and the Rockies, and Joe Buck was the announcer for the Cardinals then. So this is before he went national. Joe Buck is announcing, and Colorado had like Bichette and, who was the other guy in that line? Larry Walker, Andres Galarraga. They had all of these guys, and it was like 15-2. They were up in like the 5th inning. And I remember at the time sitting there, I don't even know what year this was, like 2003. And I was sitting there thinking, I am going to detest the Colorado Rockies my entire career, because every time you go there, you're going to get blown out. Now, that has changed through the years, but they had such a murderer's row anyway. And then when you played in Colorado and the ball just traveled like it did, and for the longest time, teams could not adjust to that.
Yeah.
I think teams have finally adjusted a little bit to Colorado. They have spacious outfields, so you have to play deep, and yet everything will drop in front of you. It's just a hard place to play. And I recall at the time thinking to myself, that is going to be a nightmare for the next 50 years. And it still can be, although I think teams have adjusted to Colorado a little bit.
I'm just curious if they will ever have good pitching.
Right.
Like, I don't know if it's just for them.
Yes.
Like, if you have like a 4 ERA there, you're awesome.
You're Jeff Francis.
Right. Had a very good career there.
Yes, he did.
Remember we went down the list of wins leaders from Colorado Rockies?
Yep, we did.
It was a good list.
I mean, Mike Hampton was on there, Jeff Francis.
Mike Hampton was a lot lower than you think.
Right.
Like Joy Chacin, Ubaldo Jimenez.
Is he the kid that threw the no-hitter?
Aaron Cook.
Yep, exactly.
Like, guys like that are atop that list.
Crazy. It's amazing. But no, I don't think good pitchers want to definitely go to Colorado. You're not going to get much there.
So the Cubs defense didn't help Arrieta. They gave up 9 runs while he was in 3 2/3, but 5 of those earned, along with 3 walks. He now, on the season, has a 5.35 ERA. He's 4-1 with a 1.47 WHIP.
This is a guy that was unhittable 2 years ago. And really good last year. And I'm sure he's a guy that could turn it around. I know when
he's had 2 bad starts where he's given up 5 earned runs in less than 5 innings. Then he's had a bunch of ho-hum games where he's 3 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 3 earned runs. He had a good start to start the season against St. Louis, but that was his only start with fewer than 3 runs, and we were used to this guy giving up 1 or 2. Now, even if you thought that was going to come back a little bit, this is alarming for this season.
Sure.
But it's also for him alarming. He's a free agent at the end of the year.
That big money. Big money you'd be giving away there. And, of course, Chris Emma the other day from 670thescore.com yesterday talked about how guys like Hendricks, and Lackey losing velocity. And that's scary. And, of course, for a guy like Arrieta that's trying to figure it out, if he's losing velocity, now he's going to try to incorporate even more pitches into his arsenal. And sometimes simple is better.
Yeah.
So maybe Arrieta will sit there and figure this out and get it straightened out before the season.
So the Cubs fall 10-4. They are now 16-16 on the season.
Okay. Interesting.
Lost 4 straight, and they have another one tonight.
Yeah, watch out, Cubs, because the Cardinals may just run away from you here.
That'd be so Cardinals.
With 2 more against the Marlins and 3 against the Giants, we may just run away. The Cardinals may be up 7 or 8 by the end of the maybe by the end of May.
Don't forget, we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers with special guest Joe Walsh. That's this Wednesday, 7:30. We'll give away those tickets.
Can't wait.
Later this hour, we're going to have a trivia question for you. So
Tom Petty trivia.
We'll do that a little bit later this hour. Jim Benson, the Bloomington Pantograph, is going to join us at 4:45 to talk about Valpo joining the Missouri Valley. I'll get Juan's thoughts on that too as we go along. But we were talking about DJ Williams all the first hour. We talked to Brad Sturdy about it, gave our thoughts. But I did want to do this. Rank the top 5 recent transfers in terms of how excited you are when you got here. I didn't want to use the term most disappointed.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's
These are young men.
Basically what it is. All right, so here's the list I came up with.
Okay.
Aaron Spears.
Are you going to go through the list, or you want me to just each comment on each one?
No, if you want to provide a comment on each, if you have a memory of these guys.
I do. Aaron Spears is a guy that I really did not expect big things from. Yes. He was just kind of a guy that was filling out the class, big guy. I thought, well, maybe eventually he could help you by his junior, senior year. I did not expect a monster production, especially right away from him.
You give a short comment, and then we'll just rank him at the end.
Got it.
Kyle Wilson, skilled player out of Texas, right?
I was excited about him.
Yeah.
And, of course, I was excited about that entire class with Dee and Darren and Luther and Raj, right?
It just totally blew it. Right. Luther was a year before.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. But it's one of those situations where you look at that class, and poor Kyle, if you'd have known how good these others were going to be. But I know Kyle Wilson went, and he was kind of the start of the Wichita State push a little bit. I think he played at Wichita State.
After Creighton.
Or was it? I think it was Wichita.
Okay.
But
you remember better than me. You recovered.
Well, hey, I'm almost positive, but it could have been. But I remember he hit a big shot. He had a game winner down in like Cancun or something one time for Illinois. And I thought that this kid could really honestly amount to somebody that was going to help in a role model or role situation. Okay. But he basically, there was too much talent here for Kyle Wilson. So he ran into an issue where if Kyle Wilson was here this year, you'd probably like Kyle Wilson a lot more. Not that I ever disliked him, but yeah, for sure. Kyle was a kid that I expected some things out of.
CJ Jackson.
Oh, man. I didn't expect a lot out of CJ.
No.
I really didn't.
It's like, is he a football player? Is he a basketball player? It's like, oh, he's going to be Julius Pepper. No.
And I think he proved that, he wasn't much of either.
Brian Carlwell. Top 50 recruit.
He was a guy that I expected definitely I thought he would come in and do some damage for Illinois underneath. I really did. He was after, right, like a Sean Pruitt.
Yep. So you were kind of loaded with size, and he was out of Proviso East too.
Yes. So I thought he was the guy that would do. I didn't think high, but I thought Carlwell would be a solid inside guy for a couple of years.
Stan Simpson.
I actually thought he would be good.
I didn't.
I actually thought
Stan
Simpson would be good.
That's when I started getting the recruiting thing.
Yes.
When I was covering Illinois in college, and everyone you talk to is like, why are they
really?
He was talented, but nobody saw it on the court.
I think what we heard back then was so many good things about Stan Simpson. So Illinois fans really thought he was going to be something. And the next thing you know, he was fighting for playing time at John A. Logan College.
Right.
I mean, he's probably the worst guy on this list. I know we're supposed to be nice, but Stan Simpson is probably, because he was a throw-in, right? That was the year where they had Jeremy. Was that Richmond?
No, this was 2008. where they had one scholarship.
Oh.
And it was either Stan Simpson, get a Chicago Public League kid, or Lewis Jackson.
Oh, wow. Okay. And I fought for Lewis Jackson hard. I fought for him hard because you didn't have a point guard.
Because you had Dimitri coming in, but he was already here. But you needed somebody to go along with Dimitri because Dimitri was more of a combo kind of guard.
He would have been a great
more
two-guard.
Like Mark Smith,
exactly.
Right?
That's exactly right. And I don't know why. I'm 6'1". I don't know why I'm fighting for shorter dudes. But I remember watching Lewis Jackson in person in Decatur. I think I went to the Eisenhower-MacArthur game one time, and I thought to myself, if he can't help Illinois, then I don't know what I am as an evaluator, and obviously didn't think much of myself that way. But
you were better than Bruce Weber.
Right. He could push the ball. He was quick. He could pass. He could make every pass. I thought he'd be perfect, and, of course, he goes to Purdue and has a lot more success.
Crandall Head.
Well, let's be honest. I thought he was going to be good. I mean, when you looked at Luther, and Crandall actually came out.
It's kind of what DeMonte is going to deal with, right?
Right. That's true. Yeah. I never thought of that. Don't put that in my mind. But I think Crandall had more coming out of high school, more of this guy is a can't miss than Luther probably was. So, we expected a lot out of Crandall. But did he ever really do anything?
Let's ask him. Didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything. Okay.
Mike Shaw.
You know what? Mike didn't end up being that bad for Illinois, right? The one year he averaged about, 10? Didn't he average 10 his last year here
10
before he
points?
Yeah, didn't he?
No.
Are you sure?
He had one good game. Remember
or am I thinking of a game that he scored 10?
They got crushed at Wisconsin. He had 4 points and 3 rebounds.
I guess I was.
And all anybody talked about was Mike Shaw needs to play more. A 6'5" guy who can't score.
I'm thinking of the next guy.
Okay.
I'm thinking of the next guy on the list. That's my fault. I saw the Mike and I got confused. No, Mike Shaw. Mike Shaw. I'm putting Mike Shaw ended up playing at SIU.
Bradley.
Okay. I thought he went to Southern.
Ibby Gym Day was Southern.
That's right.
I did not even put Ibby on this list. I'm sorry.
Ooh, these are clouding my mind.
Devin Langford did not make the list.
That's
either.
my bad. Mike Shaw, now I'm dialed back in, is the guy that Tom Izzo wanted bad, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it between Izzo and Illinois?
I don't know what Izzo saw there either.
Maybe he was trying to make Weber feel good.
Do much there. Mike Henry.
Okay, that's the dude I was thinking about.
That's a good player.
Because he had a pretty good little baseline jumper. He could shoot that mid-range jumper that nobody can anymore. That's why I kind of thought Mike Henry, if he would have stayed here, would have had a decent career.
His sophomore year, he averaged 3.2 points a game, but he had some flashes.
Okay.
Shot 32% from 3. Sophomore year, rebounded a little bit. But yeah.
Did he leave after his sophomore year?
After sophomore year, went to DePaul where he averaged double digits for 2
Maybe
years.
I'm thinking of at DePaul is where he averaged 10 a game. That's my bad to all the listeners. But I do remember Mike Henry, and I liked his shot, and I thought he could help this team.
Austin Colbert.
Yeah, I didn't expect much out of Austin. And then everybody complained because he transferred.
When Mav didn't.
And then
that's why I caution people with DJ and Aaron Jordan.
That's true. And Colbert showed flashes, to his credit. He showed some flashes off the bench late that year.
But again, inconsistency, and there was no motor there.
No doubt.
DJ Williams.
I don't even want to say that I expected a ton out of him, and it's because of our show.
Yeah.
Because we were cautioned so many times about that. And then when you looked at his stats, Bruce Weber got into this issue at Illinois when he was recruiting, where he would be recruiting guys that when you looked at their stats, you weren't blown away by their high school stats.
Because you look at Trent Frazier and Mark Smith's stats, and you go, whoa.
Right.
That guy's awesome.
I remember telling a buddy one Saturday morning, I'm having a cart flashback here, and I remember talking to a buddy one Saturday morning because I'd opened the paper. I think the News Gazette did a great job of showing all the stats of Illinois recruits or kids that were coming in, and these guys were averaging 14 points a game or 12 points a game, and I'm like, what is Bruce Weber seeing? And then other kids were averaging about 24 a game, and he wasn't even recruiting them.
Right.
And I'm like, what am I not getting that Bruce Weber is? And then I realized later that I was getting it, and he wasn't.
Darius Paul.
I thought he would be really good.
So did
I was really excited about teaming him.
List.
Yep. I was excited about teaming him up with Nana Egwu, getting offense and defense, little salt and sugar. No.
Salt and pepper?
Salt and pepper. Sugar and spice. Salt and sugar.
Salt and sugar.
Where the heck did that come
like
from?
Peas and carrots. All right.
But I really thought Darius Paul would amount to something, and boy, that went bad in a hurry.
Didn't even see him play a game.
Nope, never saw him.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's too bad.
Is he done with basketball, I wonder?
Ooh. That's a good question.
He would be a good where are they now? This would be a great on IlliniInquirer.com. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
This would be a great, if you listed these guys, where are they now? What happened and where are they now? I think a lot of people would love that.
So top 5 guys you were most excited about when you got here, of guys who transferred out. Give me your number 5, and then I'll give you my number 5.
Number 5 for me of guys I was most excited about would probably be Stan Simpson.
I put Mike Shaw.
Okay.
Just because Michigan State had offered him. He's a guy that got recruited or ranked too early.
Yep.
And then people didn't drop him enough.
Right.
Like DeMonte got ranked early, very high, but he got dropped in those rankings, so the expectations changed a little bit for him when he was coming in.
Without a
Mike
doubt.
Shaw didn't, so the expectations were a little bit higher, the offer list he had, so I had Mike Shaw 5.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Number 4, I had Brian Carlwell.
Okay.
The top 50 guy, and of course the Jamar Smith thing
that
really set his career back. Ended up being a decent player off the bench for San Diego State, but that kind of size, I just always thought, like, he dunked, he didn't jump.
No.
He just fell.
Just fell down and
because he always brought his legs up too when he
that's right.
So he kind of looked like he was an orangutan, kind of like just sitting on the rim.
I totally agree.
He had those long arms.
He did. He really did, and it's too bad to see, number one, not only him but Jamar Smith both.
Yeah.
What they could have done at Illinois. I've always thought that Jamar Smith was the reason Bruce Weber isn't still coaching her. I really thought Jamar Smith would be, and I think I'm the only guy in America that thinks that.
It's a bigger reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because his freshman year, wasn't it, against Washington? Didn't he hit like 3 or 4 or 5 threes or something? And I thought for sure Jamar Smith would be a guy that would be lights out for Illinois. And then, of course, everything that happened there.
He was one of Bruce's best gets.
Yeah, he was. Without a doubt.
And he talked about evaluation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we talked to him, didn't he, when he was playing for the Celtics minor league or D-League team.
D-League team, yeah.
Mike Shaw was my number 4 guy.
Okay.
He was the guy coming in. I thought, hey, if you're beating Tom Izzo and Tom Izzo's interested, then he must be good.
Yeah. Number 3, I have Darius Ball.
Okay.
Because he produced at a very high level as a freshman. Yeah, I know it's the MAC, but he filled such a need for them.
Yes, he
did.
did.
That's one of those transfers I just got. Like, It's like, all right, that one makes a lot of sense. A 3-year big man that you can have, and how hard those are to find as we've seen here. I thought Darius Paul would have been really, really good player for those John Gross teams.
Mike Henry was my guy, my number 3. Yeah. I thought for sure he could end up doing what he ended up doing at DePaul, and unfortunately it just didn't play out at Illinois. But I was excited about Mike Henry. I remember watching some film of him, and something about that baseline jumper. That was my favorite, and when somebody can knock it down, I'm a fan of that.
Crandall Head is my number 2. I saw him a little bit in high school. He was inconsistent, but when he was on, he was really, really good. And yeah, we all got suckered into the Luther thing, but he produced a little bit. He was a productive high school player and on the AAU circuit, and there was an athleticism there.
Yes, there was.
I thought he could turn into a really good starter.
I had Darius Paul as my number 2, and I was excited about him coming in and adding, not only from seeing Brandon and knowing Brandon, I really thought Paul would come in and really fit into the scheme and help Nana out underneath. And, of course, that never materialized.
My number 1 is Mike Henry.
Okay.
He was a really good high school player. He was Chicago Orr, which is a really good program, and he just had a skill set and a body that I thought would have fit really well with Bruce Weber and John Gross. And when he transferred, that was the one out of that class, because Langford and Ibby and Shaw, you knew it's like, okay, they need to move on from those players. Henry was the one kid that you thought he could be a nice player for John Gross, and he transferred. Was a little bit of a surprise because I thought he could have been,
no doubt,
like he was at DePaul, a double-digit score.
Maybe he knew something, huh? I'm with you there. In fact, you said it right. His body, he had a big body for that for his position, and I thought he'd be good. Crandall would be my number 1. I call it the Luther effect, but I thought Crandall Head with his athleticism would come in and team with these other guards, with Paul and some of those guys and Bertrand, and be really good. But unfortunately, it never happened. So who all was in that class? Was Shaw? Or I'm sorry,
it ended up being a terrible class.
So Ibby Jim Day,
Langford, Shaw, Henry, and 2 guys that I think didn't turn out to be stars, but very good players at Illinois.
And that's Nana and Tracy.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, because without those 2, that goes down as the worst recruiting class maybe in Illinois history.
I mean, it was one of the bigger busts because it was a top 25 class, right?
Isn't that amazing?
And then the one right before it is another bust because you had Jeremy Richmond.
That's right.
Myers Leonard worked out.
Sure.
But you only got 1 year, really good year out of him. And then Crandall Head.
Wow, those 2 years.
You got 2 years out of that class combined.
Right.
Crandall transferred mid-year his sophomore year.
I don't know if Illinois fans are thanking us right now or cursing at us right now for bringing up these names.
Patrick and Savoy said you should do the list in the opposite direction. Transfers you thought would be awesome.
You know what? That's a good point.
He said Alex Legion.
And then he got her and he couldn't dribble.
Yeah, well, I got Darius Paul on my list. I could have thrown Aaron Cosby in that list.
That's true. Boy, I think, isn't that sad that we can do that?
Yes.
That's sad.
If you want to weigh in 359-2255, but it is time for our trivia question. Your chance to win tickets to see the Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers with special guest Joe Walsh. That's tomorrow night at 7:30 at the State Farm Center. So we're going to give these away to the first texter to get this question right at 217-359-2255.
Cars crashing everywhere in Champaign-Urbana.
That's 359-2255. Don't text and drive.
No, please don't.
So Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers had 2 top 10 hits on the Billboard Hot 100.
Okay.
The first one, of course, is...
I can't think of it.
Free Fallin' was the highest ranked of theirs at 7.
Okay.
What was their other top 10 hit?
I won't say.
217-359-2255. That's 359-2255. Again, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers had 2 top 10 hits. The highest ranking was Free Fallin' at number 7. I will give you a clue. The second one was earlier.
Really?
In their career.
Okay.
So 359-2255. First one to get that question right on the text line. That's only a text line, 359-2255. Will win these 2 tickets to see Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Sweet. That's big. It is the Tay and J Show.
Hanson's Auto Repair in Urbana is a family-owned and operated full-service garage. For over 40 years, they've offered friendly atmosphere, quality work, and reasonable prices. Whether it's an oil change, brake service, or engine replacement, Hanson's Auto does it all. They're a locally owned dealer who cares, providing fast, comprehensive, and expert service. Family-owned, operated, and trusted since 1966. Hanson's Auto Repair, 1202 East Washington in Urbana. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Visit them online at hansonsautorepair.com.
Hi, it's Corey with Max Twin City Recycling. We pride ourselves on giving the area an outlet to recycle and get paid for their unwanted metals. We're taking our community focus a step further with our Recycling for a Cause program. Each month, Max Twin City will choose a different local charity to feature in an effort to raise money for those causes. Visit maxrecycling.com for a complete list of program details.
Is the original Calzone company, and they cater all types and sizes of events, from office orders to private parties to entire visiting football teams. Everyone will be sure to enjoy something different than the same old sandwiches or pizza. DP Dough also delivers to nearly all of Champaign, Urbana, and Savoy until late at night. So give them a call or order online when you're hungry and no one else is delivering. With over 1 million calzones served since opening in 2006, DP Dough is sure to satisfy and fill you up. DP Dough, the original Calzone company.
Hey, it's Stephanie Pratt with Coldwell Banker, the real estate group. I want you to rock out with me on Saturday, May 20th at the Effingham Performance Center to the legendary Vince Neil, the voice of Motley Crue. We're going to rock out to all your favorite Crue hits, and we'll get a limo down and back with Dwayne at Bishop Platinum Limousine. Go to ESPNCU.com and sign up to win tickets today.
Beacon Insurance and your local independent agent are committed to providing the best coverage options and the best service possible. They're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at beaconinsurance.com and on social media. Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/Beacon Insurance. It's a great way to learn more about insurance for your auto, home, life, or business. You'll stay up to date with important announcements. Plus, they'll throw in a few fun facts along the way. For beyond the expected information, follow Beacon Insurance on Facebook today.
You buy Community Credit Union for campus and community.
Bring into double points now through the end of May with the Illini Visa Rewards Card and the U of I Community Credit Union. Double points are waiting for you. Now through the end of May, use your Illini Visa Rewards Card on purchases for lawn and garden, sporting goods, nurseries, and home improvement stores and score double points. Plus, you can earn an extra 1,000 bonus points when you use your Illini Visa for 20 or more transactions each month. Use those points to purchase once-in-a-lifetime trips and experiences. Not a member yet? Visit IlliniCard.org today.
UVI Community Credit Union for campus and community.
Next paint project. Why settle for a new coat of paint? Try a new coat of armor. Glidden Diamond Paint and Primer at the Home Depot, starting at only $23.98 a gallon. When put to the test, Glidden Diamond stood up to 2,500 scrubs. That's a lot of soccer balls, muddy pets, and fingerprints. And that's one tough coat. We're pouring more into paint with unbeatable prices on scrubbable Glidden Diamond Paint and Primer from only $23.98 a gallon at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only.
Coach Mike Ditka is not just talking sports. What will he say next? Hear him here Monday and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8 with Brother Johnny and me, Stevie J, on ESPN Radio 93.5.
4:33, I'm Jeremy Warner with your Sports Center update. It's been speculated for a while, and yesterday Illinois made it official. DJ Williams transferring out of Illinois after 2 seasons. Former top 100 prospect out of Chicago, Simeon, did not play in 16 of his last 19 games last season. Illinois granted him a full release. Brad Underwood now has 4 scholarships available for next season, and he'll host Georgetown grad transfer Akoya Gao for a visit on Thursday. That according to Derek Piper of Illini Inquirer. 6'8", 235-pound post player, averaged 4 points and 4 rebounds per game last season. He was a consensus top 100 recruit when he signed with Louisville, but he transferred to Georgetown in December 2014, missed the next season with a foot injury. He'll be immediately eligible, and he could have 2 years of eligibility if he receives a medical hardship waiver. SMU, Maryland, Northwestern, some of the other programs with interest. Illinois football will host 4-star St. Louis linebacker Ayodele Adeoye for a visit this weekend.
Well done.
At first reported by 24/7 Sports. Former Illini Hugh Thornton retiring from the NFL. He was a third-round pick of the Colts in 2013. Started 32 games in his NFL career. Missed last year in Atlanta with a foot injury. Missouri Valley Conference has added Valparaiso to be the league's 10th member after losing Wichita State to the American Athletic Conference. The MVC said it will spend the next 9 months to consider expanding further. Baseball, a double dip for the Cubs today in Colorado. Didn't start well. Rockies won 10-4.
Yikes.
Got shelled. Jake Arrieta did. Didn't last through the 4th inning. Gave up 5 earned runs, 9 runs on the day. Game 2 features John Lackey against Kyle Freeland. First place Cardinals sent Adam Wainwright against the Marlins and Dan Straley. And the White Sox have Mike Pelfrey on the hill, taking on the Twins' Hector Santiago.
Busey is ranked among the top employers in the state for the second consecutive year, a true testament to the unique culture of their organization. Best Companies Group, that's what it's called, named Busey 2017 Best Places to Work in Illinois. The survey and the awards program identifies, recognizes, and honors the best places of employment in the state. Busey's among 21 companies recognized in the larger employer category. And to determine the 2017 Best Places to Work, Busey was nominated in a 2-part process. First, evaluated on their work policies, practices, and demographics, and also they were surveyed on their experience, consisting of 75% of their total evaluation. From buying a home and saving for your child's education to planning for retirement and beyond, partner with Busey. Named 2017 Best Places to Work in Illinois. Call 1-800-67-BUSEY. Visit Busey.com or stop by one of the many convenient locations today.
That's the answer to the trivia question, and the winner of the 2 tickets to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers tomorrow is
David Burleson from Danville.
Congratulations to David going to the show. This was the other top 10 hit for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Free Fallin'. It was number 7 back in 1989. Kind of got a revive when Jerry Maguire came out.
Oh, that's right.
95, 96.
Forgot about that.
But Don't Do Me Like That came in at number 10 in 1979, so 10 years prior. It's pretty amazing
He's got a lot of hits, man.
How long he was relevant on the charts.
Without a doubt.
Because Don't Do Me Like That was 10, Refugee 15, The Waiting 19, Don't Come Around Here No More 13 in 1985. I Won't Back Down and Free Fallin' both in the top 20. Running Down a Dream was 23. Then Mary Jane's Last Dance 14.
Oh, that's right.
You Don't Know How It Feels in 94 was 13. And then even into like 96, you had Walls at 69. It's Good to Be King at 68. So that's what? 17 years?
Unbelievable.
Where you're getting top 20 hits.
And this guy is
mainstream charts.
I mean, it's unreal what he's able to do. Tom Petty. I mean, again, it's one of those artists that I don't realize until you or I or someone like Carb sits there and goes through some of the things that he's done. And it's like, that's crazy. The old that voice. Still ugly, dude.
I don't care what you think of him. John Mayer did a killer cover of this song.
He did.
It's really, really
You don't
good.
think Tom Petty's in town and I'm saying he's ugly. That wouldn't be good. All of a sudden, big
I
dude.
think he's done fine with his life.
Oh, we got to hear this real quick. Oh, that's good stuff, man. Tom Petty. Well, have fun, David. That'll be a great thing. I know someone had texted us. I can't remember who it was. We gave tickets to the Garth concert, said he had a great time. Yeah. Got a little wet Saturday because they had a spot shower come up and basically drench everyone going in Saturday night, but I know they had a great time at Garth Brooks.
We have Jim Benson, the Bloomington Pantograph, coming up here shortly, but I just want to ask you before we get to him, Juan, what do you think of Valpo joining the Missouri Valley as a 10th member? They will not join for football.
Okay.
But, of course, basketball being the main sport in the Missouri Valley. What do you think the fit with Valpo?
I like the fit. I honestly do. I think geographically it fits, and also it's a team. Valpo's a team that has done some good things. They've made some NCAA tournaments, so I think it's a program that kind of jumps out at you a little bit.
Obviously made the NIT this year and played Illinois.
Absolutely. So they have had some postseason success. I think they're used to winning. What were they in, the Horizon?
Yeah.
Okay, so
they were one of the best teams, obviously, there for a while.
So to me, I mean, this is a bad loss for the Horizon and a nice gain for the Missouri Valley. It doesn't do anything to change the notion, and we can talk to Jim about that, about now this is definitely a one-bid league, unfortunately, but it's still a nice member to add to that for sure.
I think they made a lot of sense.
Yes.
There's also a couple other programs that if they're going to expand, and they might, Murray State.
That would be awesome.
Makes
for
a
me.
lot of sense. They didn't make the cut this time.
Okay.
Can you find a 12th member?
That's the key. And Murray State excites me more than a Valpo would, but it's only because when I was at SIU, I covered Murray State, and I know every year when Southern would play Murray State, whether it be football or basketball, that was a huge rivalry, and that would be such a built-in perfect rivalry for SIU down there that you would have. So I think that would be fun. I mean, you've kind of got your Indiana State, Evansville. You've got your Illinois State, Bradley. I think that would be a perfect Murray State SIU rivalry, but of course they're not in yet. I would love to see them come in though with another team. Of course, that would hurt the OVC.
We'll ask Jim coming up next who some other programs could possibly be. We'll also ask him about Mikhail McIntosh.
Oh yeah,
it was a grad transfer where he could end up. And Taylor Berningo was a big ad for them in their recruiting class out of Illini Bluffs. Illinois had shown a little bit of interest, but they got him over a couple other Missouri Valley teams, including Northern Iowa and Loyola.
Perfect.
So that's a big get for them. So talk a little bit about the Valley with Jim Benson coming up next.
And we leave you with Tom.
It's warming up around Champaign-Urbana, and that means it's time to get outside and ride in a Polaris off-road vehicle. And the best time to buy is during the Polaris Spring Sales event. You'll find great financing, plus rebates up to $2,000. You'll even get a free 2-year extended warranty on any full-size Ranger or any Sportsman 450 or 570 ATV. See your Polaris dealer now. Offers valid through May and vary by model. No charge for promotional 2-year extended warranty. See dealer for details. Off-road vehicles can be hazardous to operate. Always wear a helmet and take a safety training course.
The sounds of spring and the smell of flowers in the air, they all add up to Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team. That lush green lawnscape is a result of a reputation earned through consistent performance. They become your favorite through quality service and professionalism. Spring Green will service and maintain your lawnscape with seeding, aeration, fertilizing, weed reduction, disease, and insect control. Now the ease and trouble-free convenience of Spring Green's professional lawn care's full program is yours at savings of 20% for new customers. It's backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Over 32 years of satisfied customers reflect their commitment to Champaign-Urbana and the Mattoon-Charleston area. Call Spring Green at 217-359-2111 or online at spring-green.com at 217-359-2111. Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy. Join the Prairie Lands Council for their 2017 Distinguished Citizens Dinner. This year honoring the Atkins family. Wednesday, May 17th at Stone Creek Golf Club. Don't miss this fun evening with heavy hors d'oeuvres and drinks, along with a wonderful program and awards presentation. Tickets for this event honoring 2017 Distinguished Citizens are on sale now. Support Scouting. $250 per person or $400 per couple. Buy tickets today by calling 531-0218. That's 531-0218.
Mark your calendars now for May 11th and 12th for the Farmers City 74 at the Farmers City Raceway. Gates open each day at noon. May 11th, enjoy pro lates and streets and lates with $3,000 to win. May 12th, it's lates with $20,000 to win and modifieds with $5,000 to win. With almost 100 racers over 2 days. Thursday, general admission $25 for adults. Friday, general admission $35. Kids 12 and under get in for free. Don't miss the Farmer City 74 at the Farmer City Raceway, where we'll sell you the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
From buyers and sellers inspections before the sale, protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. We also provide radon testing with results back in 48 hours. From Champaign to Savoy and Gifford to Gibson City, protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. Get more details and schedule your inspection today at aamarshall.net.
Hi, it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday morning 7 to 9, here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Carp and I jumped into a little beatbox last week coming out.
Nice.
It was actually
not bad.
Yeah.
You're pretty good at that stuff.
Well, Carp surprised me how good he was at that. So
he's a musician.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you'd think he'd be good at that, right?
I hope so.
Did anybody ever figure out, this is bugging me now since our American Idol brief chat earlier this hour, did anybody ever figure out who that dude was that beatboxed and made like the last three? If somebody knows that, I want you to text the Chief Bauer text line. This is personal. I'm just using this text line for my use at 359-2255 because I want to know if that guy ever made an album or anything. He was really, really, it was so cool to listen to him. So if you know, please get a hold of me.
All right.
Just get a hold of me now, or I'll give you my cell phone. It's 217. I'm kidding.
Let's get to the Jupiters at the Crossing phone line, talk a little Missouri Valley, and whenever we do that, we reach out to our guy, Jim Benson, the Bloomington Pantograph, kind enough to join us as our Missouri Valley expert. What's going on, Jim?
Not too much, guys. How are you doing?
Good, buddy.
Well, the Missouri Valley has a 10th member, Valparaiso. What do you think of that fit?
You know, obviously losing Wichita State is a huge blow, and there really was no slam dunk home run pick out there for the Valley. In a perfect world, I guess St. Louis would have been the pick, but St. Louis isn't leaving the Atlantic 10. The Valley has kind of gone down that road and a couple times tried to get them, and there doesn't seem to be interest right now. So if they're just going to add one team, looking around the landscape a little bit, is either Valparaiso or Murray State. I'm not exactly sure why Valparaiso was picked over Murray State, but Valpo's obviously had a decent history, especially in the last 20 years. Homer Drew and his sons kind of built that program up a little bit. Had a great season this year. Unfortunately, Alec Peters got hurt late in the year, and that kind of probably, at least cost them a chance of getting an NCAA berth. He's gone now, but they always have a lot of foreign players there. It's kind of a destination for a lot of foreign players. It seems Matt Lodich is kind of doing the same pattern the Drews have done, and they've had a lot of success with it. So I think all in all for the Valley, this was a safe pick if you're just going to add one team right now. But I think they're still looking kind of in the future. They talked a little bit, a couple of the presidents today, about possibly, the expansion committee is going to kind of really look in the next 6 to 9 months and see what they want to do with this thing.
Yeah, and Jim, that was going to be kind of my follow-up to that as to what would be next for the Valley and how quick that would happen. But I agree with you with regards to Valpo. It's a team that has done some things in the NCAA. Of course, they played Illinois last year in the NIT. And, a strong team from the horizon. And I think geographically it fits. It'll be a nice little mesh up there with Loyola for sure. So I think overall, this, like you said, a safe pick, but I think a really good pick for the Valley.
Yeah, like I say, they have some kind of history to them a little bit. It's people for the most part, college basketball people know Valpo. I mean, they got kind of a little catchy little name there, Valpo, and so they bring something to the league that, obviously when you lose Wichita State, man, you're just, you're kind of cut off at the knees there a little bit. I think it was a good pick by Doug Elgin and his crew. Valpo kind of tried to get in a league 4 years ago, and they went with Loyola. So it is going to create a nice little rivalry up there with Loyola. Just the thing in the Valley, though, is that these teams really have to start winning games. I mean, The bottom line is these teams have to start winning non-conference games. That's really the reason Wichita State got out of the league, because the league members have kind of gone down a little bit, and they're not winning non-conference games like they used to. But the league needs to really pick itself up and really kind of go forward, or they're going to slide back even more.
It doesn't sound like the door is completely closed on Murray State, but do you think they would have been a better fit?
Well, that's a good question, Jeremy, and I've kind of wrestled with that a little bit. I'm not sure. Maybe it was 1 and 1A. You know what I'm saying? And as far as if they had to just pick one team this year, Valpo gives them a 5-5 split between the private schools and the public schools. So I think that had maybe a little bit to do with it. And the Missouri Valley Football Conference is a separate entity from the basketball conference, but if they took Murray State, they would have to transition Murray State football into the Valley Football Conference. I mean, the Ohio Valley obviously wouldn't want them anymore if they're not going to be in any other sports. And I'm not sure if that played it. Everybody would say no, that didn't play a role. But, in May, taking a team, especially a football team with schedules the way they are, I think that would have been a big detriment to Murray State joining the league for next year. But I fully expected the Valley expands. I think Murray State would be number one on the list, and maybe have a little bit of time to transition them into the Valley Football Conference.
He's Jim Betts in the Bloomington Panagraph.
I would love that.
Yeah, do you think they will expand to 2? I mean, Murray State would make a lot of sense, and then if they do that, who do you think else could be in the mix?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to, Jeremy. Let me tell you why. I mean, the basketball coaches are really against it. They love playing the round-robin schedule because it determines a true champion, really, and it does. You guys know that from the Big Ten. Really the regular season champion, sometimes you look at it and say, well, God, they played this team twice and they played this team once, and it's not really a true champion. The basketball coaches and the ADs really loved the 10-team round-robin schedule. And I guess you could do that with 11 teams. Obviously, from when Illinois was in the league, the 11 teams is a really bad number. Just doesn't seem to fit very well. But you could do that, I guess, with 11 teams. And it really, to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me in a year from now, maybe a year from now, we're talking they just added one more team, Murray State. But I think Murray State is definitely the team that's going to be looked at next. They really showed a lot of interest. Their fans were flooding Twitter, really, and a lot of our sites really pushing to get into the Valley. I think Murray State is a team, and they fit a big thing for the Valley is the geographic footprint.
Yes.
And Murray State definitely fits that geographic footprint. They're, obviously Southern Illinois is right down there, the neck of the woods there, Evansville. So I think Murray State would be a great addition, and I fully expect maybe in a year or so they would be added. And if they add another one, the other two schools they looked at were Omaha and Milwaukee. Neither team excites me that much.
Ditto.
Omaha, I mean, their hockey program is bigger than their basketball program. That's a huge detriment right there. And plus Omaha, they're in the shadow of Creighton, and Creighton left the league. I'm not sure you want to go that direction. But maybe Milwaukee, but boy, they just don't. Their basketball program doesn't draw anything up there. So I'm not sure. Maybe the Valley will just kind of sit back and kind of look around and see maybe if somebody else wants to join the league. Maybe a Wright State somebody. I don't know. Just throwing a name out there. Maybe there's a team out there that nobody's really talked about that that school kind of looks at the landscape of college athletics and decides hey, maybe the Valley wouldn't be a bad way to go. I don't know. It'll be interesting what happens a year from now. That's for sure.
I don't think they have football, but I think you mentioned Belmont last time, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Boy, I thought Belmont was going to be a big player in this whole thing. They just kind of seemed to fizzle away a little bit. I was told by somebody who really I trusted that Belmont really wanted to get in the league, and something happened there. I haven't found out what happened there. Obviously, it's something we need to poke around a little bit. I thought Belmont would have been a great addition to the league, but maybe they're just not ready yet. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what happens there.
They're not ready to face the Dogs yet. That's what it is.
Yeah, right.
Jim Benson, the Bloomington Pantograph. Mikhail McIntosh. What is going on with that? I know that even Illinois fans kind of have their eye on that a little bit, as he would seem to make sense as a transfer for Brad Underwood's squad. But there is some thought now about the agent thing. What can you tell us about that, Jim?
Well, I think Mikhail, kind of maybe the people surrounding him a little bit, have always thought his value is a little bit better than the Missouri Valley Conference.
Okay.
He has an NBA body. He really does. I mean, he's about 6'6", maybe a little bigger than that, but he's 235. He's got a big body, but he is not an overly athletic player by any means. And I tell you what, he has problems staying in games. He's had foul problems his entire career. He's getting some bad advice by a lot of people thinking he's an NBA player because, I'm sorry, I like Mikhail a lot. He's a great kid and all that. He's just not an NBA player. I think a lot of people, we know that, guys. You guys have been in the business long enough, too. A lot of people don't realize what an NBA player is. My God, those guys are a level above
no doubt.
what anybody thinks they are. Mikhail is obviously a very good mid-major basketball player, and he can play at the next, the Big Ten level, Big Ten, Pac-12, or wherever. But he's not going to be a dominant player on that level by any means. He could go to Illinois next year and probably average 9 to 10 points a game, maybe play about 20 minutes. But I don't think he's going to, kind of wow anybody at all on the next level when he's playing against people who are more athletic than him every night. I think he made a big mistake leaving Illinois State. I think he could have been the Valley Player of the Year, kind of really put a shining star in his career here. And I think unfortunately we see with a lot of guys, he's going to find out after you leave that the grass isn't greener somewhere else.
Jim Benson, one more for you before we let you go. Taylor Berninga was a nice get for Dan Moore over some other Valley teams. I know Illinois was at least interested in him, but they're not obviously going that route. So was that a big get in that neck of the woods, getting Taylor Berninga?
I think it was a great get for Illinois State. He's a guy who can he's big enough that he's going to be able to play on the inside in the Valley, but he's got a lot of perimeter skills and all that. I think he's a perfect fit. He's a perfect Missouri Valley player, and that's not downgrading him at all by any means. But I always thought, when I saw him a couple times, I thought, boy, he's a Northern Iowa kind of player, and they were in the mix on him. They wanted him. Dan Muller kind of has seen him quite a bit this year, and Dan really kind of wanted him. He's the kind of guy like a little bit, not quite as athletic, obviously, as Deontay Hawkins, but they see him as that kind of similar type of player where he can, play with his back to the basket, but he can also go out and stretch the defense. So I think it's a perfect fit for him, and I really think he's going to get a lot of minutes next year, especially, with McIntosh gone and now DJ Clayton announced last week he's leaving. I think Berninga's going to come in and, he could play 15 to 20 minutes a game next year.
Be interesting to watch. Jim Benson, you're the man. We appreciate all your information with regards to the Missouri Valley and, of course, Illinois State. It is the Bloomington Pantograph is where you read his stuff. Jim, thank you so much, as always.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks. Talk to you later.
Okay, buddy. Jim Benson, great stuff there. Mm-hmm. Our listeners, as they always do, Blake Lewis. I could listen to beatbox all the time. Yeah! Taking you out in the 4 o'clock
American
hour.
Idol?
This is American Idol. This was his 2006, I think. All right, listen, you got us for just a few minutes. We're going to give you more than 3 next hour.
8?
Yeah, we're preparing
We're
for
getting
it.
better.
It's the Tay and J Show.
Exciting indoor football is back Saturday, May 20th with the Bloomington Edge indoor football team at the Coliseum in Bloomington. Saturday, May 20th, head to Bloomington to see the Bloomington Edge take on Liberty at 1:05 p.m. Buy your tickets now at bloomingtonedge.net. May 20th is Education Day, and the Bloomington Edge will attempt to set a state record for the biggest game of musical chairs at halftime with kids 12 and under. They'll also be honoring distinguished officers from the Department of Corrections and saluting athletes from Special Olympics of Illinois. Don't miss this game. Buy your tickets at bloomingtonedge.net or call 484-840-EDGE.
Join Crisis Nursery Friday, June 2nd for our annual dinner and auction at the iHotel and Conference Center in Champaign. Enjoy a great dinner, live and silent auction items, good drinks, and familiar faces while supporting a great cause. Crisis Nursery creates an island of safety dedicated to the prevention of child abuse and neglect by providing 24-hour emergency care for children and support to strengthen families. Go to crisisnursery.net to get more information, sponsor this event, or buy tickets. That's crisisnursery.net.
You already know Houlihan's Restaurant and Bar at the iHotel is a great restaurant, but don't forget about the bar. Fantastic drink specials and mouth-watering menu items from snacks to full meals. A nice selection of draft, craft, and domestic beers, and just about any cocktail you can imagine. Watch a game with multiple flat screens on all sides of the bar, or grab some tables and make it a party. Drink specials daily, plus Houlihan's is now serving a delicious hot breakfast 7 days a week. Houlihan's at the iHotel. Check them out at the corner of 1st Street and St. Mary's Road, just south of the State Farm Center.
Your passion is what makes your business successful. You're completely invested in the needs of today and your dreams for tomorrow. Whether you want to expand your business or streamline operations, Busey offers business and wealth management solutions to meet your needs and achieve your dreams. Visit Busey.com or stop by one of our many convenient locations for solutions to your banking and wealth management needs. Busey, your dream, our promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Shake-up at the FBI. Fox's John Decker has more live.
Within the past 30 minutes, FBI Director James Comey was fired by President Trump. The Justice Department recommended that he be fired based upon his handling of the Clinton email server investigation. In a statement, the president said the FBI is one of our nation's most cherished and respected institutions, and today will mark a new beginning for our crown jewel of law enforcement. A search for a new permanent FBI director will begin immediately. Comey had been serving a 10-year term as FBI director. Kathleen?
Thanks, John. The Senate Armed Services Committee gets an earful about Russian election interference from Admiral Michael Rogers of the National Security Agency.
He told lawmakers that U.S. intelligence officials knew that something was going wrong in the French election.
We had become aware of Russian activity. We had talked to our French counterparts prior to the public announcements of the events that were publicly attributed this past weekend and gave them a heads up. Look, we're watching the Russians. We're seeing them penetrate some of your infrastructure. Here's what we've seen. What can we do to try to assist?
Just hours before the French presidential polls opened, documents related to Emmanuel Macron, who won the election, were leaked online.
Fox's Carol Zimmer. Firefighters are having a tough time with a massive wildfire near the Georgia-Florida border. Windy, dry conditions are causing it to spread.
We need an area of widespread rain, and the prospects of rain for the next 10 days is going to be pretty bleak.
Forecaster Phil Peterson, the National Weather Service, has issued a dense smoke alert for the region. The fire has burned over 130 acres. Stocks closed mixed, the Dow dropping 36 points, S&P losing 2 points, but NASDAQ gaining 17. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
ADT presents What to Consider When Considering Home Security. An ADT sign is more than a sign. It's a line in the sand. On one side, your family. On the other, an uncertain world.
For over 140 years, more people have chosen ADT to help prevent crime than anyone else. Get ADT starting at just $28.99 a month.
Tested, trusted, proven ADT.
With 36-month contract for licensing and terms and conditions, visit ADT.com.
The key to success? Keep it simple, especially when it comes to hiring. And nobody makes it easier than Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Manage your candidates from one dashboard. According to an independent study, 5 times more hires are made through Indeed than any other job site. New users claim your $50 credit to post a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Non-essential workers at a nuclear site in Washington State are being sent home early.
Hanford Emergency Operations Center spokesman Destry Henderson says employees noticed a sunken-in area of soil over one of the tunnels next to a former chemical processing facility. In that tunnel are stored contaminated materials.
Crews noticed a portion of that tunnel had fallen. The roof had caved in. About a 20-foot section of that tunnel.
Several workers were initially told to stay indoors and shelter in place, but officials say they have no indication of any release of contamination. They were using equipment to monitor for radiological matter. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Seattle Mayor Ed Murray has dropped his re-election bid after 4 men claimed he sexually abused them as teenagers. Murray denies the allegations but says he's abandoning his campaign in the best interest of the city. Your tax dollars at work. You can find out how at usaspending.gov.
The site answers just about any question you might want to ask about government spending. Want to know how federal tax dollars get spent? Well, the top 10 budget functions are listed on the website, with Social Security #1 claiming 23% of taxpayer dollars. Medicare and Defense are number 2 and 3 respectively, and together they account for half of total spending. Or maybe you wonder where the money went. California, Pennsylvania, and Florida rank at the top, but you can also drill down into your own state or even your county or hometown for federal spending details. Jerry Willis, Fox News.
Credit Suisse is expanding in North Carolina after a partial repeal of the state's law limiting the rights of gay and transgender people. The bank is adding more than 1,000 technology jobs in the state. North Carolina also approved more than $40 million in tax breaks to lure the jobs away from New York City. I'm Kathleen Maloney, Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you comfortable all year long. Call 866-EXPERTS or you can visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 54. Thunderstorms tomorrow, high 79, a low of 62. Thunderstorms again on Thursday, high 73, low of 49. But it will be sunny and beautiful throughout the weekend, highs in the 70s. Right now, 73 and sunny. Champaign-Urbana.
Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lonte, Jeremy Warner. You've got us for about 6 minutes. Getting out early for Cardinals and Marlins. We'll do it again tomorrow as well. Adam Wainwright on the hill for the Cardinals, who have won, I don't even know.
4 straight?
What is it? What did I say? They're 13-5.
Won 13 of their last 18 since they started 3-9.
Wow. So what a turnaround for the Cardinals, and hopefully they can continue that on the road. We have talked today about some interesting recruits and their names.
Yeah.
And Nancy Fay, the Illini women's basketball coach, has a new recruit for her program, and these names are getting ridiculous now. I mean,
they're foreign, but even this one's a little bit
wow,
a lot of syllables. They added a girl from Athens, France, from the American Community School of Athens.
15 letters.
6'3". We should just call her the Greek Freak.
That's fine,
because that's probably the best way to go. I'm going to go with Nancy Panagiatopoulou.
I think you did it right.
Nancy Panagiatopoulou. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15
letters in her last name. Are you kidding me?
Like, that's going to look like Saltzlomachia.
Right. And who's the other girl on the team already?
Petra Holoshinska.
Yeah.
That's a little easier
that
to say.
Seems like nothing.
Not many syllables. When you get that many syllables, that's what makes Antetokounmpo so difficult.
It is. It's crazy. But we had, of course, her in studio. I'm not sure if I'm ready for this. I'm not sure. I'm just going to call her Nancy P. Or whatever. I don't. Nancy P. That might not
We've
work.
talked all about DJ Williams. If you want to hear our thoughts on that, we have the first hour. We gave a lot of our thoughts, and even the start of the second hour. But I did talk with Lovie Smith today. I had a one-on-one in his office with him. I really appreciated his time and Kent Brown setting that up.
That's awesome.
But I got part one of the interview up at IlliniInquirer.com.
Ding.
Okay. But I thought the final part of our first interview, which mostly focused on his first year here, the team, kind of the program kind of stuff. But I asked him if, everyone, whenever an NFL opening comes up, they're going to mention Lovie Smith.
They are.
And that's partially out of respect for what he did.
Absolutely.
And because the Bears ended on a 10-6 record, and they've been terrible ever since.
Right.
And because Tampa, he just was there 2 years and had just gotten Jameis Winston, it felt like that thing was still going up.
And they're on the rise.
I asked him if he'd fully scratched that NFL itch, and I thought his quote back to me was really interesting. He said, quote, "Last year I was supposed to be miserable there for a time. Somebody talked to the ESPN reporter after the Western Michigan game, I guess. I was miserable and after every other loss. But when I came here, I made the decision to come back to college ball. I signed a long-term contract. For me, on what's being said, you can't go all on that. I'm telling you, I love it here. This is long-term. I made a statement that this is my last job. That's why it's important for me about the long-term things that are in this place, like the facility, so we can build a program that we don't just have a good year. We want it to be a solid program for years to come.
Nice.
The NFL is a part of my past. I coached high school ball at one time too, so we're locked up here. This is what we're going to do from here on. There are some of us who have been to the NFL that like college ball. I loved it when we were in the NFL, and I love college ball also. That's me."
I like hearing that. And the thing that I like more than anything is him talking about building up the facilities and making this a program that's going to be good for years.
Yeah.
Not just during Lovie Smith's time.
Right.
But even
that's like 1 year and I'm gone back to the NFL.
Right. Even after he's gone from the head coach at Illinois, hopefully this program will be on better footing. That's what we all strive for as Illinois fans. We hope that our program can become an Iowa, can become a Wisconsin, and get this long-term winning and not just a fluke of a few years, which is what's happened basically with the Illini ever since basically White and Makovic left. So that is what's great, and that's the one thing I like hearing about that. I love how he said in there, or put in there, that, I did coach high school too.
Yeah.
So you're not asking me if I missed that.
Some
But I think that's really cool. I think that'd be a good interview. I can't wait to read that article.
Yeah, and I think part two people are really going to enjoy. It gets more into the recruiting where there are some questions.
Sure.
And I asked him about Josh Sternquist, and I asked him about James Kirkland taking on a bigger role, the in-state recruiting, all of that. And he was pretty honest and forthcoming about it, so I appreciated his time. But I'll release part two of the Q&A tomorrow on the site. So.
Well, I'll definitely get in and read that tonight. I know he just had a birthday, so.
Yeah, I said it was a big weekend for you. That was the first thing I told him. I go, he got inducted in the Texas Coaches Hall of Fame.
That's right.
And he went down to Texas for that. And then, of course, he just had his birthday yesterday, his 59th birthday. So it was a big weekend for him.
Good for him.
But I went to that office. There's hardly anybody there because all the coaches are on the road recruiting.
Well, right.
And Lovie can't be.
Oh, he can't?
Because of the Saban rule. And he hates that rule.
Isn't that
He talked
unreal?
about that a lot. He hates
Isn't that
rule.
I guess it worked out for you, though. You got an interview.
Yeah, but it's not good for Illinois football recruiting because he's their best recruiter.
He's the guy. You want to get Lovie Smith's face out there at all times. I love hearing that. All right, want to thank Brad Sturdy, orangeandbluenews.com. He joined us today to talk about DJ Williams transferring out and some of the other guys that Illinois will be looking at. Of course, how do you say it? Akoy
Agau.
Okay, he's going to be here Thursday, right?
I just say it confidently.
Akoy Agau.
Yeah.
Right. He's going to be here Thursday. Maybe a Nana Egwu lookalike. Also, Jim Benson, the Bloomington Pantograph, joined us about Valpo entering the Missouri Valley.
You got Cardinals Marlins coming up next. Dan Straley against Adam Wainwright pregame coming up next.
I'm going to watch tennis. We'll see everybody tomorrow. It is the Tay and J Show.
Hanson's Auto Repair in Urbana is a family-owned and operated full-service garage. For over 40 years, they've offered friendly atmosphere, quality work, and reasonable prices. Whether it's an oil change, brake service, or engine replacement, Hanson's Auto does it all. They're a locally owned dealer who cares, providing fast, comprehensive, and expert service. Family-owned, operated, and trusted since 1966. Hanson's Auto Repair, 1202 East Washington in Urbana. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Visit them online at hansonsautorepair.com. Going on 5 years, Rock's Place in St. Joseph has become the neighborhood sports bar and grill for a lot of folks in the area. Rock's Place is known for their delicious burgers, and they also have great daily food and drink specials. Plus, Rock's has plenty of TVs, so you can keep tabs on the Cubs and Cardinals all summer long. And while you're there, press your luck on one of Melody Music's video gaming machines. For delicious food, cold drinks, and good company, make it Rock's Place, 101 North Main Street in St. Joseph. Find them on Facebook, ROCHS in St. Joseph.
Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
Sure, we've been called a mom and pop store. We take it as a compliment. After all, we are family owned and operated with 2 generations actively involved, and 5 of our team members have been with us for around 20 years each or longer. We run our business with old-fashioned customer service as our foundation, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Add our great selection of hand-picked mattresses, all proudly made in the USA at guaranteed lowest prices, and we're sure you won't find a better deal anywhere. Visit us and experience the Illini mattress difference today.
Hello, this is Shane Colt from Country Arbors Nursery. Spring is finally here and Country Arbors is open and ready to supply you with all your home and garden needs. We grow hundreds of thousands of annuals and 600 varieties of perennials right here in Urbana. If you're looking for a large shade tree, then you'll want to come out and see our thousands of trees dug and ready to be planted. Country Arbors offers a planting service on all our trees. Buy 3 or more trees and we'll give you 20% discount on the tree and the planting. We guarantee all of our larger trees that we plant for 5 years. And don't forget, we deliver dozens of different mulches and stone. You can find out more information and directions at countryarbors.com.
The ribeye has the best, the greatest steak in town.
If you're looking for Champaign-Urbana's great steak place, it's the Ribeye Restaurant. Still with their famous salad bar and their delicious seasoned fried shrimp and delicious grilled chicken entrees. The Ribeye Restaurant, 1701 South Neal Street in Champaign. For reservations, call 351-9115.
The ribeye is the best. We're the one, the great one steak place.
Welcome to the Amarin pregame show from Cardinals Nation Restaurant inside Ballpark Village. Chris Raby with you on the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network. Cardinals win again last night. Their 4th straight as they beat the Marlins 9-4 in Miami. They've won 7 straight on the road and are 17-14, sitting atop the National League Central. Tonight, Adam Wainwright on the mound for the Cardinals against Dan Straley. He'll try to make it a perfect 5 games through Atlanta and Miami on this trip, and the Cardinals will hope to get Adam Wainwright back on track. I've seen some flashes for the big right-hander. He has an opportunity tonight in Miami against Straley. Coming up, we will revisit last night's game and the theme of Cardinals starting pitchers being great, not just on the mound, but in the batter's box as well. We'll talk with Will Leach for our Reporter's Notebook. Luke Weaver, the PCL Pitcher of the Week, joins me for our Monsanto Farm Report. Plus, we'll hear from manager Mike Matheny, check in with Kyle McCullen, and Mike Claiborne will be with Carlos Martinez, who was fantastic last evening. All that and more as we get ready for baseball from Miami. How'd they do it last night? Some great pitching, some great offense, and a little bit of both from one guy. It's our Central Bank of St. Louis replay.
Here's Martinez with the pitch. Swing and a miss. Indeed, strike 3. The pitch to Martinez. Line drive down the left field line. That's going to get down fair and go to the wall. 2 runs are going to score. Here's Sierra off to the races. He scores all the way from first on the 3-run double by the pitcher Carlos Martinez.
Y nada, solo que yo traté hoy de tener un buen turno y poner a buena jugada.
It's something that we talk about amongst us pitchers, that we really have to do our part when we get to the plate and just help each other out. And I really think that's what I try to focus on, and that's what I did today.
Strike on the outside corner, and Martinez strikes out the side. Bohr, Real Muto, and Dietrich.
Real good. Yeah, actually at times his sinker had that almost too much movement again, and that's a good problem to have. He harnessed it and found his rhythm. I thought his stuff was very sharp today.
Swing and a base hit to left field. Sierra rounds third. He's going to score, and Carlos Martinez has driven in another run. It's 4-0 Cardinals. All RBIs belong to the Cardinal pitcher, Martinez.
5 RBI days. Pretty impressive. And big situations, and just the pitchers always fancy themselves, as you say, that they're all best offensive weapons we have. But there have been a few days here where they have been the major contributors. It just shows you how every spot's so important and not to give anything away.
It's courtesy Cardinals Radio Network. Mike Matheny from our friends over at Fox Sports Midwest. Cardinals 9-4 over the Marlins, and a big day offensively for Carlos. He picks up his second win of the season. Replay brought to you by Central Bank of St. Louis, your hometown bank of the St. Louis Cardinals. Adam Wainwright so far this year, 4 for 11, 3 runs scored, a home run, and 4 driven in. He's taking on Dan Straley. Follow Cardinals Baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all season long with Game Day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat today. It's your number one app for live baseball. Luke Weaver, the PCL Pitcher of the Week, joins us after a great road trip with the Memphis Redbirds next on the Ameren pregame show on the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network.
Hey, it's Stevie J. Have the roof your home deserves. For your next roofing project, why don't you go with Roof Doctors, a locally owned and family-operated business for over 25 years. They use superior materials. They're a certified shingle contractor, so they can offer a 50-year non-prorated full system warranty, and they won't loan your work out to subcontractors. Hey, Roof Doctors has worked on my home, and the results are fantastic. But don't just take it from me. With an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, Roof Doctors has plenty of satisfied customers. Get a free quote at roofdoctorsco.com.
Tuesdays can't get any respect. Every week it's like, I can't believe it's only Tuesday. No one ever asks, how was your Tuesday? But now there is something exciting about Tuesday. The Tune-Up Tuesday sale at Chief Bauer Service Experts. Get an extra $10 off our lowest sale price on an AC Precision tune-up. That means you'll get a $120 tune-up for only $59 when you book online today at chiefbauer.com. The Tune-Up Tuesday sale at Chief Bauer Service Experts. Take that Saturday.
There's a time for work, there's a time for play. There's a time to do things you don't do every day. There's a place to go for tools and machines and people with knowledge about these things. We've been here since 53 to meet your rental needs. When the time comes, we're the place for everything. Rental City.
Hi, I'm Mike Carpenter from the Tay and J Show on ESPN 93.5, and for over 20 years, Simplified Computers has been helping local businesses and nonprofits with their computing and networking needs. Simplified Computers covers everything from servers, network security, cloud-based applications, wireless accessibility, computer support. In short, whatever technical issues your business runs into, the guys at Simplified Computers have seen it, and they can help. Call them at 352-5000. That's 352-5000. Simplified Computers. Simply the best.
Welcome back to the Ameren pregame show. Chris Raby with you. We get ready for the Cardinals and Marlins tonight. Cardinals at the top of the National League Central. The Memphis Redbirds at the top of the PCL standings. An 11-game win streak for the club, franchise record, before falling today. Last game of a road trip in Iowa to the Iowa Cubs. They now head back to Memphis to open up a homestand beginning on Thursday. The Farm Report is brought to you by Monsanto. Luke Weaver was the PCL Pitcher of the Week and now joins us on the Ameren pregame show. Luke, what's going on, man?
Not much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. What a trip it's been. What a week it was for you as well. First of all, congratulations. 11 straight wins. A heck of a comeback last night. You guys are playing some pretty good ball right now.
Yeah, you said it. Definitely fun to be a part of and see everybody contribute in different ways. And last night's game was kind of the cap of all of it.
Yeah, what's it like to watch a comeback like that? As you guys put up 8 runs in the top of the 9th, 3 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, 8 in the 9th. Maybe not surprising because of the firepower that you have, but what's it like, even if you're not throwing that day, as a pitcher to watch that kind of offense?
Well, that day particularly, I was the first base coach, so I like to take a lot of credit for, the guys around the bases, giving the times, doing all the, the little stuff that goes unnoticed, but I guess I'll give them some credit at the plate, but that's a whole lot of fun, especially when you're on the mound pitching, and you're going to get some runs, and besides them hitting, they're going to get behind you and dive and do all that stuff to help keep you out there as long as you can. So combine that all together, there's no reason why there shouldn't have been an 11-game win streak.
A great week for you as well, Luke. You were named the PCL Pitcher of the Week. A couple of starts since coming back from your injury, 13 shutout innings, did not walk anyone. I know always disappointing to miss some time, especially at the beginning of the year. You've dealt with that over the last couple of seasons, but what's working over the last week, and how are you feeling right now?
Well, I appreciate it. But, yeah, I'm feeling really good, going out there, and I think the positive thing is feeling healthy, post-start. Those starts, bodies, obviously tired and exhausted, but to feel strong and, the back and those parts that were bothering me, and to just kind of have that sense of, not having to worry and know how it's going to react. But, just going out there and just trying to pitch again. Obviously that time off stinks, but, you try to use that to your advantage the best you can, and was able to work just a little more practice on some pitches and some things, and it's turned out well so far.
That's Luke Weaver, the PCL Pitcher of the Week on the Monsanto Farm Report. Monsanto, proud supporter of America's farmers. Let's open up the reporter's notebook a little bit more with our buddy Will Leach from Sports on Earth, part of MLB.com. Next on the Ameren pregame show, Chris Raby from Cardinals Nation Restaurant inside Ballpark Village. Back in a moment on the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network.
For every driver who loves the road, there's now a tire that helps you love it even more. The Mastercraft LSR Grand Touring, designed to deliver the handling, comfort, and all-season performance today's drivers demand. The LSR Grand Touring brings together the best of what Mastercraft has learned in over 100 years of putting quality tires on America's roads. That makes the Mastercraft LSR Grand Touring perfect for today's coupes, sedans, minivans, and other vehicles. Master the road with Mastercraft tires. Visit Trucks Deluxe today.
You're at the ballpark every day, crouching down, catching heat, all but invisible. Your job lacks fame and glory, but offers plenty of distracting aches and pains. That's the life of a bullpen catcher. You can't afford to lose focus. Neither can your team. So be prepared with Ace braces, supports, and elastic bandages. Ace brand. Don't be distracted by pain.
Awesome Machines Sales and Rentals wants you to take charge of your yard with Toro. Come in now through May 31st and save $100 on Toro Time Cutter zero-turn mowers. Save $300 on Toro Titan HD mowers and save $500 on Toro Z-Master commercial mowers. Awesome Machines has Toro certified parts in stock, and they service what they sell. With certified service technicians and trained parts and sales personnel, Awesome Machines is the best choice for your lawn equipment needs. Awesome Machines Sales and Rental, Route 45 in Savoy, Route 36 in Tuscola, and online at awesomemachines.net.
328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 24 hours every day. Tapman's Towing. 328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 24 hours every day. Tapman's Towing. We have pull and we're hooked on you. Tapman's Towing.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com. Summer is coming, and Champagne Surplus is here to outfit you in the latest styles for men and women from Patagonia, Vineyard Vines, and Chaco. You'll find dresses, shorts, tank tops, sandals, and everything else you need to get summer ready. And did you know that Champagne Surplus is Champaign-Urbana's only Patagonia and Vineyard Vines store? So, if you're ready to get under the sun in the hottest brands right now, go to Champagne Surplus, 303 South Neal Street, downtown Champaign.
Adam Wainwright and Dan Straley tonight at Marlins Park in Miami. It's the Amarin pregame show. Chris Raby at Cardinals Nation Restaurant inside of Ballpark Village in the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network. Cardinals trying to make it 8 straight road wins, 5 straight, and stay at the top of the National League Central. Cubs already dropping the first game of a doubleheader today in Denver against the Rockies. Reds take on the Yankees later tonight, and the second game of the Cubs and the Rocks. Meanwhile, the Cardinals continue to deal with some injuries. Tommy Pham back in the lineup tonight. Magneuris Sierra as well in center field. We open up the reporter's notebook. Will Leach of Sports on Earth with more on the Cardinals dealing with injuries and continuing to move forward.
You know, it's funny to think, listen, obviously everybody loves Dexter Fowler. It's very exciting. I can't wait to see him get fully healthy and really get rolling because he's had his moments. We haven't seen that yet. But it's good to know. Like, that's a nice little thing. Again, Sierra's got some work to do with the bat. But just to see a guy that can patrol center field like that, you know, we've heard we've heard about the donut in the Cardinal system and how there are a lot of guys in the lower levels but not really a lot in the top levels, and those guys are going to work their way through. But if you can have a guy like Sierra to just come in and help you out in that realm, listen, I don't think he's going to stay up. I think once Piscotty gets back, Sierra sends back down. But really what he's got is invaluable. And, you know, remember, if the Cardinals can stay in the race here, think of what a weapon a guy like Sierra is in September for in tight games or even in the postseason, to be able to get guys like that, to work those guys in now. And also, as you know, I think the phrase goes, to keep your powder dry on potential deals. Look at some of the teams that are falling apart here and really struggling late to have guys that are free agents. Are you looking at a Todd Frazier? Are you looking even at a Josh Donaldson? If a guy like Jerko kind of comes back to earth a little bit, and you want to get him back to his utility role that you originally imagined him for, there's a lot of opportunities that you can work with without having to go after some of your core guys. And, you know, this has always been a key tenet of Mozeliak's leadership, is the idea of giving yourself a lot of options, giving you a lot of depth. You think of the number of organizations that would have absolutely crippled by a loss to Reyes at the start of this year. And I think from the outside, I heard a lot of national writers saying, well, you know, without Reyes, that clearly puts a huge crimp in the Cardinals' plans. And certainly you're never better if you lose a guy like that. But, you know, I think the Cardinals were well positioned, particularly with what Walker's been able to do, to respond to that and put it together and still have a lot of other moving parts. And I think that's a good place to be, particularly when you have, as Matheny put it, a nightmare scenario of injuries to come back and sweep after when you're a game under 500 and a lot of people are really worried. That's pretty encouraging.
Well, you've got 4 off days over the next couple of weeks. Obviously, a big homestand after the trip to Miami with Chicago, Boston, and San Francisco coming up. And then starting May 23rd and incorporating some of the makeup dates in June, you're going to play just about every day until the All-Star break. So we'll know a lot about the pitching. We'll know a lot about some of the organizational depth with some of the decisions that will have to be made and some of the guys that maybe come up. And I think we'll know a lot about this club and a lot about this division over the next 4 or 5 weeks, Will.
Yeah, this thing will get sorted out, and, you know, I think it's funny because the schedule really, it's not ideal. You know, you almost wish that if they were going to if they would lose the off days now when they're playing these tough teams, because it's going to be tough anyway. You know, I think that a rest might not do you that much. You know how much you need a day off when you're playing the Cubs and the Reds right in a row. I think it's going to be tough when they really get into June and all those doubleheader comes, all those games get crammed together. But, you know, again, that is the nice thing about this. I think one thing that was really nice about that win Sunday is that it gave you some positive notions about some guys you might not have thought that positively about. Obviously, Kevin Segras has really struggled this year, but, you know, he pitched well yesterday. Jonathan Broxton, I will confess, in the stands to watch Broxton come up against the top of that lineup in Atlanta, I groaned a little bit. It felt like that was going to be the end, but he made some big pitches. And then you get a guy like Sam Tuivalala. You know, this is an arm they've been excited about for a long time that's not quite really put it together. He made some huge pitches yesterday, and that is what you want out of a game like that, is to be able to have guys, you know, not just so we know it, but the manager knows it. He's all of a sudden now a guy like Tuivalala, who was, you know, clearly him or Sokolovic were the last arms in that bullpen. To see now he sees something in him, and maybe that helps Tuivalala, and it feels more comfortable putting him in a higher leverage spot. We've seen guys like Bowman get worn down already this year. I think that is, to get that kind of faith, you were really going to need that in June.
Will, appreciate it, man. Always enjoy having you on the program. We'll do it again soon.
Of course, my pleasure as always. Thanks.
That's Will Leach joining us on the Ameren pregame show for the Reporter's Notebook. Let's take a break. When we come back, we will hear from manager Mike Matheny. That's next as we get ready for the Cardinals and the Marlins on the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network.
National Car Rental presents a control enthusiast guide to baseball. Babe, Boom Boom, Ducky, Scoop. Baseball's given us great nicknames. Big guys named Slim and slim guys named Slim. And because you can choose any car in the aisle, National has a nickname for you too. The Boss. Sound good, Slim? National, official car rental partner of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Subject to availability and other restrictions. Requires enrollment in the complimentary Emerald Club.
Hey Cardinal fans, Ozzie Smith here for Ameren, Illinois. Playing catch and wiffle ball are family traditions. But whether you're in the backyard or in your neighborhood, it's important to avoid electrical equipment. If a ball goes into a substation, leave it alone and call Ameren, Illinois. And always stay clear of the big green transformer boxes and any equipment marked with high voltage signs. A safety reminder from your friends at Ameren, Illinois. Energy at work.
Hi, it's Corey with Max Twin City Recycling. We pride ourselves on giving the area an outlet to recycle and get paid for their unwanted metals. We're taking our community focus a step further with our Recycling for a Cause program. Each month, Max Twin City will choose a different local charity to feature in an effort to raise money for those causes. Visit maxrecycling.com for a complete list of program details.
Okay, U of I Meat Sales Room theme song, take one. The Meat Boat. Soon we'll be grilling another steak. I'm pretty sure that's already been done before. Take two. I'll eat meat with you. I'll eat burgers and brats. And again, already been done before. Take three. Meat, 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 meat. Meat, 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 meat. The U of I Meat Sales Room on Maryland and Urbana. They may not have clever theme songs, but they do have the best meat in town.
Vapors E-Cigs thinks it's time for you to take a permanent vacation from smoking. Take a permanent vacation away from cigarettes today. You'll smell better, you'll breathe better, and you'll feel better. Plus, you'll have more money than ever when you choose Vapors E-Cigs. Come in today and taste the difference with a premium electronic vape. You can get started for less than a carton of cigarettes. So what are you waiting for? Stop by Vapors E-Cigs today. Find them at Champaign across the street from Marketplace Mall at 2 West Main Street in Danville. And follow them on Facebook for great deal offers and giveaways.
Hey guys, the carry-in lunch is next week. Sign-up sheets outside my door. Bring some goodies, okay?
Hey Bob, I was just going to bring some wings and poppers from Rosati's. Is that okay?
Sure, Jerry.
Hey Bob, I was thinking calzones from Rosati's. Is that okay?
That'd be fine, Clara.
Hey Bob, scales up front. We're just going to bring some salads and pastas from Rosati's.
Is that okay? Sure, ladies, that'd be fine.
Hey Bob, you might want to just go ahead and cater it.
Rosati's Pizza, more than just pizza, with catering available for big groups or small. See the full menu at myrosatis.com.
Cardinals have won 4 straight, 7 straight on the road. They're 17-14, again, top of the National League Central. It's the Ameren pregame show from Cardinals Nation Restaurant. Chris Raby with you, getting ready for baseball. Adam Wainwright and Dan Straley. Let's head back to Miami and hear from the manager, Mike Matheny, always brought to you by Webster University.
Well, Mike, how about the Carlos Martinez show last night?
Carlos was electric on the mound, at the plate. He just had one of those days that you and I talked about. He always has that in the tank, and what keeps him from doing that all the time? One, it's a hard game, tough league. After that, it's just some days it all comes together and feels right, and there's other days you can't quite explain why it doesn't. But that was just once again that little bit of that taste of just how good he can be.
He was really upset to come into the game 0 for 11 at the plate. And when he got his pitch, he didn't miss it. And it was fun to watch Magneuris Sierra chase the other runners around the bases, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think everybody was looking behind him to see if he was going to catch him. And, Diaz came in and said, he was just going kind of easy, but I know better than that. But Sierra can flat run, and you see that just as you did in every at-bat he took in Atlanta. Even routine ground balls, he was almost beating them out. So, and you saw late how his speed impacted how quick the infielders have to try and react, and then a mistake can happen, and that's that pressure we always talk about. Put the pressure on all the time, and his speed's naturally going to do that. We've only seen really one play where he's used his speed in the outfield, but a big outfield like this, I imagine there's going to be a time when we're going to get to see him run some balls down. But he's doing a real nice job, just staying with his game and doing some of the little things, getting a couple hits yesterday, hitting the ball hard, even off the lefties. It was just a good day for him.
He acts like he belongs here, Mike.
Yeah, he does. And I think that was part of that, when we quoted earlier on how he just doesn't scare. There's some kids that we bring up here, and they're almost, I wouldn't say intimidated, but almost have given it too much. And you want to be respectful. You want to have a good understanding of how much it takes and what the guys who are here, what they've done to get here and to stick around, and have an appreciation for that, but not to the point where it makes you incapable of doing what you can do. And that's what I see, a good mix of, he's very gracious and very excited to be here, but he also wants to show everybody what he can do. And he's got that spark in his eye. All right, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do something very special here.
Well, Sierra and Pham in the lineup, and then you've moved Grichuk into the number 2 spot. It looks like you have a lot of balance, and you've been scoring early on these road games to win all 4 so far.
Yeah, that speed is a great component, and I know we've had a lot of Cardinal fans over the years just wanting so badly to see the Whitey ball and to see Vince Coleman-ish base stealing. We just haven't had that kind of speed. I would say Sierra.
But who does?
No, not many people at all. And even the speed that Vince had, he had a knack. He had the knowledge and he had the skill set of really knowing how to take a base. And those are things that a guy like Sierra is going to be able to do, and a Pham's going to get better at, and Grichuk needs to get better at, because he's a good runner. But we just haven't had that mixture of that much speed, and so it's nice to incorporate that one, like we said, puts pressure on the pitcher, which can distract, to all of a sudden you get a better pitch to the plate. You'll be able to move and get into scoring position a little more easily. You're scoring from first base. Those sort of things add up over the long haul, and it's nice to have that speed component in our lineup right now.
And tonight, Adam Wainwright makes the start. Last year, he shut down these Marlins in his only start against them, and maybe that's what Adam needs to get back on track.
Yeah, it's just going to be all about location for him. He's just going to, just resolve to the fact he's going to put every pitch where he wants it, and I know that's a lot to ask, but we're watching what's making Mike Leake different right now. He's putting the ball where he wants to. He's putting a little extra movement on. Yes, he's got good velocity right now, but no more than what Waino has. But he's putting that movement in the bottom of the zone. And he's not making many mistakes in the middle, and Waino has the ability to do that. It's just a matter of execution on a consistent basis, and I'd love to see him take off on a good roll.
Mike, good luck. We'll talk tomorrow.
Thank you, John.
Manager Chat brought to you by Webster University. We'll talk a little Adam Wainwright and Carlos Martinez with Kyle McClellan next on the Ameren pregame show on the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network.
I'm Terry Crouppen. I was born and raised in St. Louis. I've been a Cardinal fan for more than 60 years. I'm proud to announce that my law firm, Brown & Crouppen, has become one of the newest sponsors of our hometown Cardinals. So on behalf of Brown & Crouppen and millions of fans everywhere, Cardinals, you know what to do. You know what we want. We want to see you guys playing in October. Go Cards!
Choosing a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based solely on advertising.
There are 2 things every parent wants when their child goes to college: for their child to do well and a way to afford it. Now, with Discover Student Loans, parents can have the best of both worlds. Not only do our loans cover up to 100% of school-certified costs with 0 fees, but we'll give them a cash reward for each new student loan if they earn at least a 3.0 GPA or equivalent. That means every A in history or B in math could help them earn a cash reward for good grades. Just one of the many ways we treat you like you'd treat you. Apply now in 15 minutes or less at discoverstudentloans.com. Limitations apply.
At Body and Soul, they take pride in giving you the perfect fit for your athletic shoes. Their team of experts will help you in selecting the style that fits your purpose and your feet. Body and Soul has offered the best prices and best quality for more than 30 years. And they aren't just shoes. Whether it's walking, running, swimming, or biking, or whether it's for you or the whole team, visit Mike or Jed and their experienced staff at Body and Soul, Route 45 Savoy. Call 356-8926 or visit soulsports.com.
Welcome back to How Well Do You Know Your Meat? Now back to the trivia. The freshest meat comes from your local grocery store. True or false?
True.
No. Contestant number 2.
It's false. The freshest meat in town comes from the U of I meat sales room off of Florida Avenue in Urbana.
Yes, that's correct. You're a winner.
For the freshest cuts of meat in town, visit the U of I Meat Sales Room. Open Tuesday and Thursday from 1 to 5:30 and Friday from 8 until 1. Just off Florida on South Maryland in Urbana.
You can fly Champaign. You can fly Willard Airport. You can fly Champaign. You can fly. Our airport is your doorway to the sky. So pack your things, spread your wings. You've got business to do. People who expect you. You can fly Champaign. You can fly Willard Airport.
Now, hey guys, I'm gonna head over to Rosati's Pizza for lunch. Anybody want anything? Let me know. I'm leaving soon.
Hey, Bob, you want to split a pizza Valentino?
Sure, Jerry.
Hey, Bob, grab some wings and poppers, would you?
Okay, Clara.
2 Italian beefs, 1 barbecue beef, and a half-pound burger loaded for the guys down in shipping.
Sure, guys.
Greek salad, taco salad, and a grilled chicken Caesar salad for the gals up front, Bob.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Bob, you might want to get it delivered.
Rosati's Pizza. More than just pizza with delivery to Champaign, Urbana, and Savoy. See the menu at myrosatis.com.
Tom McClellan joins us on the Ameren pregame show as we get ready for the Cardinals and Marlins. Cardinals 4 straight wins, 7 straight wins away from home. And Kyle, the starting pitching continues to be fantastic for the Redbirds. Good start for Carlos Martinez last night. Did it with the bat as well.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. And I think it just goes to show you, we talk a lot about starting pitching and the importance. Let's flip it a little bit. Let's look at the Marlins. We saw them a ton in spring training. Offensively, this team is as good as almost any. I mean, they have a lot of weapons in that lineup when they're all healthy. Their starting pitching is terrible. They have the worst starting pitching in the league in terms of innings pitched, and that makes such a difference on the rest of your team. So that is something the Cardinals have going for them right now. It's the strength of the team right now. Adam Wainwright, he can get going, him and Carlos Martinez, and catch up with the other 3 that's been carrying this. This team's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, what do you want to see from Adam tonight? Again, so up and down, has had his struggles, but has said that, at times the series felt really good about his stuff.
Yeah, he's trying to find it. He's trying to sync up his mechanics. He was doing something a little different. His arm slot was different. He was on side of the ball, and that made a difference in his last start. He just got to get comfortable, find his mechanics that where he thinks he's clicking and his rhythm's there, and go from there. We know his stuff's going to be there, but if his arm and hand aren't in position to really drive the ball to the bottom of the zone with that late breaking, sinking movement as opposed to running movement, he's going to have some issues, and he has. He's given up a lot of hard contact on his fastballs. He needs to get back to the bottom of the zone with his hand on top behind the ball and give him that sink that we're used to seeing.
Kyle, we saw Magneuris Sierra in spring training a little bit last year in spring, and he's looked pretty comfortable in his first couple of days in the big leagues. He's back in center field tonight.
Yeah, I love this kid. I loved him in spring training. He caught our attention early. There was a play he made. Me and you were doing the game in Orlando and went back on a ball, made a catch over his shoulder back at the warning track. So this kid, defensively, he's above where he should be. Offensively, he's going to struggle if he's here for a long time because they're going to figure out some holes. You have to understand this kid came from high A all the way to the big leagues. That's a huge jump for him. He's seeing things he hasn't seen before. But the sky is the limit for this kid. I really, really like Magneuris Sierra.
Cal, thanks, man. Have a great night. We'll talk tomorrow.
All right, you too.
We're going to make Magneuris Sierra our UMB player to bank on, not necessarily because of the offense, even though he's looked good at the plate so far, but in Marlins Park, with the injuries the Cardinals have sustained, what he brings to the table defensively in center field. This is a pretty darn good outfield with Tommy Pham and Randall Grichuk playing aside Sierra, and we've already seen some respect being paid to him. The Atlanta Braves not trying to take an extra base on his arm. We've seen him look very, very good in the outfield. Kyle there talking about an incredible catch, one of many that he made in spring training. Love him defensively. That should be a big help for Adam Wainwright tonight. Magneuris Sierra, our UMB player to bank on. When we come back, Banked on Carlos Martinez last night. That turned out pretty well. Mike Claiborne with the Cardinals right-hander as we continue on the Ameren pregame show, getting ready for the Cardinals and Marlins on the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network.
Mother's Day is Sunday. Celebrate all the moms in your life with a thoughtful gift from Edible Arrangements. Beautiful handcrafted fresh fruit arrangements with pineapple hearts, gourmet chocolate dipped strawberries, and more. You'll have no problem finding something unique and delicious to show mom just how much you appreciate her. Order from Edible Arrangements now and save 20% off site-wide with code GIFT2017. Visit your local Edible Arrangement store or edible.com.
Scotty here reminding Cardinal fans about the annual St. Clair County Transit District's Day at the Ballpark on Saturday, July 29th, featuring our Cardinals and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Ticket packages still remain and include a game ticket, a pregame lunch buffet at the Ballpark Hilton, and transportation to and from the games on the Redbird Express. All for the price of $26 per ticket. Wow, what a wonderful value for family and friends. Get your tickets while they last. Call 618-628-8090 or go to scctd.org.
Vapors e-cigs thinks it's time for you to take a permanent vacation from smoking. Take a permanent vacation away from cigarettes today. You'll smell better, you'll breathe better, and you'll feel better. Plus, you'll have more money than ever when you choose Vapors e-cigs. Come in today and taste the difference with a premium electronic vape. You can get started for less than a carton of cigarettes. So what are you waiting for? Stop by Vapors e-cigs today. Find them at Champaign across the street from Marketplace Mall at 2 West Main Street in Danville. And follow them on Facebook for great deal offers and giveaways.
You can fly Champaign. You can fly Willard Airport. You can fly Champaign. You can fly. Our airport is your doorway to the sky. So pack your things, spread your wings. You've got business to do. People who expect you. You can fly Champaign. You can fly Willard Airport.
Okay, U of I Meet Sales Room theme song, take one. The Meat Boat. Soon we'll be grilling another steak. I'm pretty sure that's already been done before. Take two. I'll eat meat with you. I'll eat burgers and brats. And again, already been done before. Take three. Meat, 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 meat. Meat, 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 meat. The U of I Meat Sales Room on Maryland and Urbana. They may not have clever theme songs, but they do have the best meat in town.
Bunny's Tavern is your home for the 2017 Chicago Cubs. Nothing beats watching baseball over an ice-cold beer, so enjoy $13.50 mix-and-match domestic buckets and $6 PBR pitchers 7 days a week. You'll catch every minute of Cubs action on Bunny's 10 big-screen TVs, whether you're inside or enjoying the largest heated patio in Urbana. So come check out what people in Champaign-Urbana have been whispering about for over 75 years. Bunny's Tavern in downtown Urbana, your home for the 2017 Chicago Cubs.
Well, Carlos Martinez, a very good outing for you your last time out. Let's talk a little bit about the pitching. That's something you really started to zero in on.
You know, last night was a good night because I was very focused and good concentration and nothing, just couple of homers, but nothing bad, nothing. Again.
Let's talk about a little bit. I know what you really want to talk about is those hits last night, and you turned on some pitches, and I know you really take hitting serious. I know you work on it when you're not pitching. What were you looking for last night? Just something good to hit, or were you looking for a breaking ball, or what?
You know, before the last night, I don't have a hit, you know. But last night, I was having comfortable, and, bases loaded, just put the ball in the game and help myself. Just really good job and nothing.
For you, you used to be a shortstop, and now you're a pitcher, so you have a little experience with working the bat.
Yeah, you know, yeah, I was comfortable in myself. You know, last night was, you know, I don't have words to say. Just I was focused and keep doing, helping myself, and you know what happened.
You know, you used the word focus, and it seems like even from a pitching standpoint, you're trying to keep it simple. You're trying to focus on just keeping the ball down right now.
Yeah, just keep doing like that, because that was a good game, and my teammate helped me a lot, and you know, that's happened. So keep going like this, and be concentrated for the whole season.
You like the hugs?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, man.
And what happened to the water deal after the home run?
You know,
you just want to change it up.
Yeah, a little bit, but you know, just forget that and keep going, trying to help me, and just concentration on the mound. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about something off the field. You are having your annual bowling event that's coming up in June, and I know that's a really big deal for you. I've seen where the proceeds for that go, and it's just one of the best gestures we've seen. Tell us a little bit about it and when and where.
It's at some place last year in downtown,
Flamingo Bowl.
Yeah, and we had a lot of people this year. Yeah, I think this is the best tournament I do, because a lot of people come, a lot of fans come, and a lot of people help me with the kids, you know, and the community in St. Louis.
How's your bowling?
Better, yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's June 11th, I believe, on a Sunday night, so we'll get everybody out there to have some fun with that. More importantly, keep having fun pitching and now hitting.
Yeah, man, just say thank you, and you know, keep going.
We'll do this next time in Spanish.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, we can do it.
But your English is good. I'm liking it. This is good.
Yeah, I just try every day. And keep talking with the guys, and they help me a lot with
they teaching you all those other words too?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We, the entertainment-loving people, demand the best unlimited wireless plan ever from AT&T.
I thought I raised you better than to make demands like that.
You know what? We want even more than that. We want AT&T to give us unlimited entertainment.
What else do you want, a flying car?
Well, maybe HBO included in our plan.
How about a unicorn?
And we want to watch all our favorite shows without paying overages.
Good luck with that.
And we want all of this, plus we want to save $25 on our monthly DirecTV bill.
But you can save me $25?
Well, yeah.
I'm proud of you, son.
Only AT&T offers you unlimited data with HBO included and never pay overages. Visit your local AT&T store and get AT&T Unlimited Plus, our best wireless deal on unlimited data. Plus, save $25 per month on DirecTV. It's entertainment your way.
After 22 gigabytes of data usage, AT&T may slow speeds. Plan includes stream saver and videos will stream in standard definition unless you turn it off. $25 DirecTV savings requires AT&T Unlimited Plus. Credits start within 3 bills. Service prices subject to change. Other usage, speed, fees, charges, and restrictions apply. See att.com/unlimited for details.
You can fly Champagne. You can fly Willard Airport. You can fly Champagne. You can fly. Our airport is your doorway to the sky. So pack your things, spread your wings. You've got business to do. People who expect you. You can fly Champagne. You can fly Willard Airport.
Mosquitoes can be a nuisance, and after a mild winter like we had, they're even worse. Let Prairie Landscaping get rid of those pesky mosquitoes so you can enjoy the summer outdoors without bugs getting in the way. And since it's Prairie Landscaping's 25th year in business, they're celebrating by offering up to 25% off their mosquito program. Email mypvdiscount@gmail.com for a free quote. mypvdiscount@gmail.com. And if you sign up by May 31st, you can win 2 free mosquito control applications out of 4. Prairie View Landscaping, mypvdiscount@gmail.com.
It's time to get to Hoopston for your best deal on any Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, or Ford vehicle.
Discounts up to $4,500 on Cherokee.
$5,750 on Patriot.
And $2,750 on Chrysler Pacifica.
It's time to buy. It's also Ram commercial truck season. Up to $6,250 off quad and crew cabs. Ford's deals are just as hot. Explorers at $6,800 off. Up to $11,000 off the hottest truck in America, Ford F-150. You can't afford not to buy at these prices. Make the trip to the intersection of routes 1 and 9 in Hoopston for your best deal.
At Body and Soul, they take pride in giving you the perfect fit for your athletic shoes. Their team of experts will help you in selecting the style that fits your purpose and your feet. Body and Soul has offered the best prices and best quality for more than 30 years. And they aren't just shoes. Whether it's walking, running, swimming, or biking, or whether it's for you or the whole team, visit Mike or Jed and their experienced staff at Body and Soul, Route 45 Savoy. Call 356-8926 or visit soulsports.com.
Talk about repaying the favor. The infield is in. Makes Wainwright a little better hitter if he can make contact.
Same ground ball up the middle ties the game. Here it comes. The pitch to Wainwright is hit deep to left. Is it going to stay fair? You bet it does. 2-run home run, Adam Wainwright. Wainwright gives the Cardinals a 2-1 lead.
Forget the ground ball up the middle.
Well, with keeping in the theme of Carlos Martinez and his offense, just heard Carlos with Mike Claiborne, Adam Wainwright delivering with a big fly back on April 21st in Milwaukee, the first of a pair of back-to-back wins for the Cardinals starter, who looks to do it both on the mound and perhaps in the batter's box tonight. Wainwright takes on Dan Straley. Can the Cardinals make it 5 straight wins, 8 straight away from Busch Stadium, and stay at the top of the National League Central? Reds take on the Yankees. Cubs fell earlier to the Rockies. Game 2 of their doubleheader is tonight. This has been the Ameren pregame show. John Rooney and Rick Horton have all the action from Miami next. Don't go anywhere. It's the Cardinals and Marlins on the Cardinals Radio Network.
Awesome Machines Sales and Rentals wants you to take charge of your yard with Toro. Come in now through May 31st and save $100 on Toro Time Cutter zero-turn mowers. Save $300 on Toro Titan HD mowers and save $500 on Toro Z-Master commercial mowers. Awesome Machines has Toro certified parts in stock and they service what they sell. With certified service technicians and trained parts and sales personnel, Awesome Machines is the best choice for your lawn equipment needs. Awesome Machines Sales and Rental, Route 45 in Savoy, Route 36 in Tuscola, and online at awesomemachines.net.
When your car breaks down, you realize just how much you need it. And when it breaks down, Beaumont Alignment Plus steps up. For routine maintenance like brakes, oil changes, tune-ups, batteries, and tires, you can count on Beaumont Alignment Plus. Bigger issues including alignment, suspension work, starters, alternators, transmission requires specialists. So get to know Beaumont Alignment Plus for your vehicle repairs. With locations on Bloomington Road and Denison Drive in Champaign, you're never far from the help you need. It's good to know that quality service is still affordable at Beaumont Alignment Plus.
Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
Hey guys, the carry-in lunch is next week. Sign-up sheets outside my door. Bring some goodies, okay?
Oh, hey, Bob, I was just going to bring some wings and poppers from Rosati's. Is that okay?
Sure, Jerry.
Hey, Bob, I was thinking calzones from Rosati's. Is that okay?
That'd be fine, Clara.
Hey, Bob, scales up front. We're just going to bring some salads and pastas from Rosati's.
Is that okay? Sure, ladies, that'd be fine.
Hey, Bob, you might want to just go ahead and cater it.
Rosati's Pizza, more than just pizza, with catering available for big groups or small. See the full menu at myrosatis.com.
A swing, and there's